Welcome in, everybody. We have a very, very special treat for you guys today. League of Legends varsity team in NACE Star League, 6-0, taking on Maryville, also being at 6-0. Two Titans of NACE, both teams I don't believe have dropped a game yet. We should be in for a treat. Got myself and Adam fresh up back from Worlds, got me dripped out just a little bit, so we appreciate it. Had to, represent Saints over there in Atlanta for us, but how we doing, man?
Feeling really good. I mean, honestly, coming off a really crazy weekend of League of Legends, and being able to get back into the scene with it now, it's going to be really fun to sort of see what these teams have sort of been inspired by as well. But of course, a little bit of a different patch, a little bit of a different wavelength here as well, especially considering these two teams, titans of the group thus far, both of them at 6-0, haven't dropped a single game. Maryland, a very strong school, Saints as well, and
I said Maryville.
It's the exact same. You can see both of them matching their records incredibly strong. Sort of just ran through this group. And of note on these standings, what it doesn't show is the other groups as well. And basically a win here tonight for St. Clair means they dodge Maryville, as we were mentioning earlier, a very strong team, as well as Harrisburg University in that first round of playoffs. So, a lot on the line for these two teams. Yeah,
we talked to the team. We had a good talk with the team a little earlier, maybe about half an hour, and they know how big this game is, even though they realize it is just a game proceeding. But like you said, you want to avoid going through the gauntlet early on, give yourself a better chance to make a push farther down the run. And we also were talking about the Canadian Power Rankings came out once again for the League of Legends team, who my cohort here next to me does happen to be a part of the committee, so direct any and all issues with him as far as these things go. We are going to see St. Clair did drop to 5th, I believe, from 2nd. They did lose to U of T, so naturally kind of makes sense that you're going to flip spots there and the rest of this thing. I'll give you the quick little minute here to get a little rundown.
Yeah, and I think overall there's a lot of power being put back into the rankings a little bit. I mean, UBC was a notable omission in the first round. They're now back up to 6th. This is a school that has been very strong time and time again. Another omission actually from this list that I'll mention, give a shout out to, is Simon Fraser University, that hasn't quite featured there yet due to mostly lack of information. That's what a lot of it comes down to. So if any schools are looking to get a little bit of recognition on these lists, just honestly send us your op.gg, send me your sort of school rundowns. My Twitter DMs are open, so just hit me up there. But overall, St. Clair at number 5, I think just coming back down to earth a little bit after a loss to York, just sort of dying down the hype a little bit from that Fisher College victory. But I think nonetheless, a lot of these schools, I would say in the top 7, can really be interchanged. And that was what the committee was talking about a lot this year. We still really haven't seen anything from Western, but them revealing their roster does give them a little bit more of a push there. And Waterloo, of note, did beat U of T 3-0 in Fall CLL. Granted, Fall CLL is an RP tournament, so it's a little bit more of a warm-up, just sort of like a little bit of a gauge. We don't put too much weight on it there, but nonetheless, I think St. Clair definitely, a victory here today would push them up the rankings a little bit more.
Yeah, I'd say really, really close rankings. So many strong teams hanging around at the top there. It's going to be really interesting to see how things are going to play out. But I guess talk about this match really quickly. Maryland, a very, very strong team. I believe they have a challenger player and a bunch of grandmaster players. One of the challenger players we know, big Rengar player, I said challenger, big Rengar player. So just talk about maybe the Saints, probably going to try to target ban away those couple of junglers, and then, we'll see what kind of draft they want to come in with as well, though.
And I think the main player here for Maryland is Che, actually on the bottom side there. 900 LP, right on the cusp of challenger every single time. I've had the pleasure of actually working with him in the past, and, he's just a really smart player, willing to pull out some odd picks from time to time, but even now in the current meta, it just has a good pulse on what's going on there. And, down there on the bottom side as well, Sunbay, Senna one trick in the higher elos, 500 LP. It's always scary to see some of those players because, especially when you've got a champion like Senna that can be so lane dominant from a supportive position, you really need to keep your eye out for that as well. But as we were mentioning, Mephisto, Mephistopheles, we're going to keep it shorter there. We'll just keep it at Mephisto for tonight. But, sort of the demon in the jungle has a couple of those, what I like to call crazy picks. I can't say the full word of it. We'll put it that way. A little bit of angry picks, we'll put it that way, with the Rengar, with the Talon coming out. And I mean, we can actually just pull them up right now onto stream and sort of get a gauge of what we're expected to see. It's a lot of one tricks coming through, but I think Maryland has improved a lot as a program. And you see Mephistopheles there. 687 games on Rengar. That's devotions.
One angry kitty.
Yeah.
Obviously, the rest of the lineup, everybody is going to be at that GM level just about or above the Saints. They're going to be in for by far their toughest matchup. Luckily, we've been seeing them kind of expand the champ pools week by week. We are going to see a race coming back into the lineup once again in that support role. Did a fantastic job playing in last week, kind of coming out of nowhere, shocking everybody with how good him and Rockboom have been. And I think that's probably going to be the key for the Saints once again. And seems to be kind of the pattern is put Ricky on a strong enough champ to kind of hold his own, play for Rockboom because he has been the absolute carry for the Saints the last couple weeks.
And I think the main thing about this matchup specifically is because the bot lane is so strong coming through from Maryland. We might see a little bit more attention focused towards there from Mephisto on the side of Maryland. They want to try and get this bot lane ahead. They want to play towards Chan Sunbay on that bottom side of the map. But on the flip side, now Ricky's going to get a little bit more room to assert their dominance in the 1v1. They are favored in this top-sided matchup. You know, Alonso has shown willingness to go to any lane that needs it. And I mean, Bakery Boy has really sort of played above their rank in a lot of ways as well. You know, taking down a lot of really strong players. We saw solo kills against Saranok. We saw solo kills against Misha as well. I don't think it's going to be too much of a surprise if Bakery Boy is sort of the man to watch in this matchup. But overall, we're set for such a good matchup. I mean, these teams haven't dropped a game all season in NACE.
With that being said, I hyped this game all last week, but we're going to keep you guys waiting just a few more minutes here, waiting for the players to get into draft, get ready, get onto the Rift. So with that being said, I'm going to throw it to a quick break, and we'll catch you guys after. Battle of the Undefeateds comes up next.
welcome back, everyone, to Saints Varsity League of Legends action here for Adam alongside Jobin once again. Very excited to be getting into this one here between these two teams. As we said, undefeated on the season for both of them in NACE Star League, and really just going to be setting the tone because, as we mentioned off the top, St. Clair, they want to avoid some of those juggernauts. You want to avoid Maryville, you want to avoid Harrisburg for as long as possible. Yep. A victory here would ensure that.
Yeah, it's a very, very big game. Huge seeding on the line. We know both these teams. Crazy good start, and as we're going to say, we talked about it earlier. We're expecting to see probably the Talon and the Rengar ban taking away Maryland's top two jungle picks. Talon is going to be the first one through.
Yeah, and makes a lot of sense because it brings so much, it brings that X factor into it. You don't want to give someone their one trick at as much as you can in these senses. We've seen the LeBlanc banned out so often, even though it's not really a priority pick, just because Bakery Boy is so confident on that. But the Talon and very likely the Rengar to come through later. But the Caitlyn ban on red side, very much expected. We've seen this at Worlds so many times where you have to ban these champions on red side lest you give over a free first pick.
Yeah, Caitlyn, pretty common first ban, probably besides Aatrox, one of the most commonly first ban champs, so nothing too surprising. And then there, the Rengar ban is going to come through. So going to target that jungle, try to take it away, and hopefully, try to get Alonso going and facilitate. He's been doing a great job playing like that support jungle. We saw the Ivern, he patrols the map so well, so, try to let him do his thing in the jungle, take away some of those pocket picks.
Yeah, and especially with this second ban coming through, the Aatrox getting taken away. It's another free blind pick in a lot of senses. Top is just able to, it forces out a certain play style on the opposite side, but of course, last couple of bans here. Very curious to see which direction they go. And we heard a draft plan coming through from their coach earlier, and it seems as if a little bit of a deviation coming through already. The Sylas going to be taken away. What this means to me is I think they're targeting a first pick. Maokai here, there's been a stat from Worlds here. Maokai has a 30% win rate. It sounds really low, but it has a 60% win rate when Sylas is not in the game. So really interesting sort of adaptation there to take away that Sylas and basically just say, you either have to ban Maokai and give us something else, or we're going to pick that Maokai first. And with the Graves banned, seems like a Maokai first pick is on the horizon.
Yeah, and that's a really, really smart pick, and that percentage is kind of jarring, but it makes sense. Taking one of the best ultimates in the game, arguably one of the best for team fighting. It's kind of like the Renata ult on crack. You get such a wide radius of it. You're able to turn with it as you walk around, so such a strong ultimate can completely turn team fights the other way, and just as you said, little crystal ball, Maokai is going to come out first.
Yeah, and the thing about Maokai jungle as well is just, if the Sylas gets that ultimate, it has a really nice AP ratio. It's sort of the same thing as you pick a Mumu and then there's Sylas on the enemy side to sort of answer that as well. You get such a strong team fight ultimate for yourself, which can really turn the tides if you give that champion over, especially since Sylas is blind pickable now. But the Trundle going to be picked up here. Trundle really likes playing into these Aftershock junglers. What I'm expecting now to this Maokai is to opt away from Aftershock and go for something like Phase Rush or go for something like Conqueror, which doesn't just give those free resistances over. Yeah,
really curious to see. We are going to see the Aphelios, so not too surprising, been one of the top priority ADCs, especially the last couple patches here. Probably going to pair that with some kind of Enchanter, maybe a Lulu or something along those lines. And the Saints, not sure exactly what they're going to answer here, but again, not surprising to see. They are going to answer with the Misfortune, so I wonder if we're going to see Misfortune and Mumu. We saw it last week. Very, very strong. Curse of the Sad Bullet Time was kind of a staple. It's been a super solid bot lane, and there it is. And just really consistent, really good. A Mumu with such a good kit, and just works all around.
It really works. It's just really straightforward as well. R plus R, you get your team fight there, especially when you've got that Maokai. It's a really strong team fight comp already coming through from St. Clair. Interesting to see what they pair up with. The Braum is actually, I really like this here because you look at what Braum's able to do, put up that shield and block up a lot of that. The main thing is you just take away the Maokai ultimate, at least for that certain angle that you've got, as well as the Misfortune ultimate. So already, you get two really good ultimates to sort of disengage from. And even still, if the Amumu is going in, it's very telegraphed with the bandage tosses to just use that Glacial Fissure and stop that up. Sort of create that fissure in the middle of the fights at that. But the Jack's going to be banned away from Ricky here. No surprise in that sense either. Has always sort of pulled that out and just done fantastic on that. But Camille going to be taken away from the side of St. Clair there. They want to avoid some of these split push threats.
Yeah, so we're still waiting on the top pick and then the mid lane pick as well. So curious if maybe Baker Boy going to try to pull out something like the LeBlanc. It hasn't been banned away. We are going to see the Azir ban, so that was definitely a possible choice for the Saints. Azir has been one of the most blind pick mid, just kind of super consistent, that are super, super powerful. We've seen it swing huge team fights in Worlds and other tournaments, so the true value of it. The Saints, they are going to ban away Fiora, so I'm curious to see what Ricky might be thinking here.
I'm curious as well because I feel as if Maryland are going to try and save this mid counter pick for their R5 here. So very likely going to see something safer on the top side of the map. Probably something a little tankier on that, with the top lane there. Ornn is a great example of that. You get that Friel scaling in a can with that one. You just drop down those Ornn ultimates Ornn ornaments at that, and the Ornn ultimates work really well, especially now that Maryland are starting to build up a little bit more of a team fight comp. But Ricky going to be pulling this one out. Tell us about the Darius.
If anyone has been watching watching the Saints streams the last couple years, this was one of Ricky's pocket picks. It was either you ban the Darius and the Jax, or you enjoy, losing the game at 25 minutes. It's been one of his heavy carry champs. He has performed on it against a huge variety of champ pools. We haven't seen him busted out quite as much recently, just based on how the meta has been and how the team comps have been, but nonetheless, a very, very strong champ, and I am pumped to see him back on it.
For sure, and of course, with mid being sort of a blind pick, no surprise seeing that Victor picked up. It's just a little bit safer overall, and I mean, looking at the team fight now, it's more of a 4-1 comp coming through from St. Clair. Darius just going to try and split the map, open up that side lane, and try and buy a little bit of space for themselves. But even still, Maryland, they've got themselves quite the team fighting comp as well. Curious to see what they round it out with. Thinking another control mage, it's got to be something like the Syndra or as potentially the Orianna there. And Orianna actually does have a little bit of a winning matchup here into the Victor, specifically in lane, just because you outrange the Victor just that little bit with your ball. And it's so cheap to use that. You move the ball around everywhere and you're just able to get rid of first strike if that is the option that Bakery Boy is going to go for. And as well, once you get that level 6, you just drop that on top of someone like a Braum or a Trundle who's going to be in that front line, and you can get some really impactful teamfight ultimates. So overall, two very strong team fighting compositions. And especially with these teams being so skilled, it's really interesting to see them opt away from some of these harder to execute team fights, and they just say, we're just going to press our ultimates in a fight and hope that it works.
Hey, sometimes you take the Overwatch mentality, play for ultis, and then you just set up for 5 hours in one team fight. You do ultimate versus ultimate in that fight, and you see who comes out on top. I mean, sometimes keeping things simple is the way to go. So maybe these teams are like, hey, point and click, easy to execute. We're going to see who can out execute each other with these comps.
For sure. I'm very curious to see what the angle is for some of these, and as we load up onto the Rift shortly here, can actually see it was the Phase Rush Maokai coming through. So, it is a good answer into the likes of this Trundle, which is going to sap all of those resistance and sort of take them out of the fight at that. So very, very interesting to see that as the angle, because overall there are ways that this Maokai can still turn the tides of a fight. If a stray Bramble is able to land onto the Ornn trying to use that ultimate, the Ornn's going to be sort of taken out of that fight as well. It buys you so much space with that Maokai. So overall, very, very curious to see how that execution goes. But of course, it's hard to say who wins this draft.
I know.
It's so difficult to say who wins
this series
draft.
is going to be a 2-1 one way or the other, I think. I think there's no way it doesn't go 3 games.
Yeah, I think that is very likely what is going to happen, but it seems as if we're having a little bit of a riot moment here, so we are going to take a short break. We'll be back as soon as possible.
And one quick click, we are all fixed, and we are now on to the Rift. Maryland versus St. Clair. Battle of the 6-0s in NACE StarLeague, fighting for that first seed, trying to avoid the gauntlet as we gear into playoffs these next few weeks. As I said, most anticipated matchup probably on our stream the last week or two. We've been hyping this one up. Time to see if it delivers.
Yeah, and as you can see, the wards getting placed down in the expected slots there on that bottom side of the map. Very standard affair. Cloudy having a little bit of fun, just doing a little bit of a dance. Probably knows full well that Ricky's in there. At that point, Ricky, you just got to step out. You got to start bouncing the axe on you, see what you can do for yourself. But nonetheless, good to see these players are willing to have a little bit of fun as we open this one up. But overall, very curious to see how this early game works out. As you can see, both of these junglers starting on red buff side of the map. So Alonso going to be trying to do this pull where you pull the chickens over and you sort of space out the saplings there so they don't insta-pop on to the camp so that you can basically get the splash damage onto all of them. But already Bakery Boy. First strike proc, good to go.
Bakery Boy, never one to shy away from those early mid lane engagements, so nothing too surprising. Saints are going to sweep out this ward out of this middle bush. Sure race, getting that early sweeper, and I'm so excited to see how this game's going to play. A little bit, some expectations from the draft, but definitely some curveballs based, especially on what we were seeing in the meeting room beforehand. They're planning for every single situation. Ultimately, this wasn't quite one of the ones that they expected. I mean, to be expected with League, and now it just all comes down to who can execute.
Yeah, and interesting to see the options in terms of summoners and runes as well. I mean, we've mentioned the Phase Rush Maokai there as sort of the answer. Mephistopheles opting for the lethal tempo, so going for a little bit more of that prolonged fight. tower as opposed to the press the attack where you just pop that as quickly as possible and you pump out as much damage from there. But as well on the top side, Conqueror going to be coming through from Ricky as well as the Ghost. So we've got a couple of Ghosts coming through. They really want to increase that movement speed delta, really look to chase down or kite away from these fights as much as possible.
Yeah, and we're used to seeing Darius on the Ghost run somebody down, hook them in, try to dunk on them, try to get that full combo, complete the kill. So not too surprising. We've seen, I think, Ricky run the Ghost a ton on Darius as well. Yeah, just gives you that extra mobility to try to run somebody down, maybe run down the Trundle or something, able to get away from those early ganks possibly. So we're going to have to see this bot lane. We know they like to play very aggressive. Rockboom likes to put the pace on people. They like to get shoved under tower and get damaged. Bakery Boy, though, getting traded out a little bit there in that mid lane, taking a little bit low on mana and HP there.
And as we were mentioning, you know, Maryland's going to try and play towards this bot side. It makes sense why the Trundle was starting up on that top side of the map. Now you see Alonso opting towards this top side, looking for an early gank, trying to get the timing down, but will opt to back off, go to their blue buff, and potentially look for a mid gank after that. But already, Chea putting down the power on the Cephalios. We talked about how strong this champion has been in the couple of patches here, sort of rising up out of nowhere to become one of the highest picked ADCs now. And you know, it's such a difficult champion to pilot, but at this level, you know, you better be able to pilot that champion. And I think we've seen Rockboom do it as well, but Chea definitely very confident on there and already sort of getting this wave pushed in, trying to put this MFMMU under pressure. Yeah,
and that's the thing. That's going to be the key. This bot lane matchup probably going to be the main matchup to watch. We've seen, I say, the Saints, they've been playing for their bot side the last couple weeks, and it has worked out very, very well for them. And when they haven't really been able to get that bot lane going, they have definitely showed some weaknesses, you know, some vulnerability, so be very interesting to see how they play against a very strong bot lane. We know Chea as well, extremely deep champ pool, as you said. Aphelios, probably one of the harder ADCs in the game, if not the hardest to pilot, knowing when to gun swap and everything like that. So someone like that to run, he has a very deep champ pool, able to play those champs. Ricky, a little bit of back and forth there with the Ornn, trying to get some damage in.
Yeah, and once again, this matchup is a little bit difficult for the Darius actually before level 6, just because of the stats that Ornn's able to put out and the percent health damage on that Bellows Breath. But over time, as Ricky builds up some of these items, it's just going to start to find an advantage for themselves. Of note, you can see Cloudy a little bit down on the CS. You know, the waves are relatively even here, so that's just a full wave that Ricky has been able to get an advantage of over Cloudy in this situation. And, you know, with Mephisto opting for this bottom side of the map, sort of play around that half of the map, it really means that Cloudy's on an island up here on this top line. Granted, Ricky's been taking a couple too many tower shots and might have to just play a little bit careful.
Yeah, he got a really good trade there at the end, able to get all that HP back. Things, I say, they weren't looking good. He was one step away from possibly getting shot down there, but nonetheless, going to walk away. Alonso now going to walk the spot side, pick up those Krugs, going to go clear out everything. Rockboom in a race, still trying to hold the fort in this bot lane. Usually, you're not used to seeing them in this position. They're usually trying to shove out the other way, but again, Braum Aphelios, not the easiest lane to try to push back, so they're going to have to get walked under here. Alonso maybe going to walk over and show here momentarily, but not sure if Maryland does have a ward in that tri-bush, so they'll probably be ready for it.
Yeah, and it seems as if Alonso is just going for that level 6, trying to get there as quickly as possible. Very expected at that point. Interesting to see Mephisto opting for the Sheen as their first back. Very often you'll see either tier 2 boots come through on this Trundle, or you'll see something a little bit more aggressive, maybe a couple of long swords looking to try and keep that build diverse. Seems to be going for the Divine Sunderer, so will it be a little bit more of that? It's very likely Divine Sunder into sort of utility items from there. I want to see what they opt to go for, but Alonso just going to opt for those Lucidity Boots. So strong in the early game, specifically on the Maokai, before you're able to build other CDR for yourself. But one thing to note is oftentimes they will switch their boots halfway through the game. You just want that early game power to clear a little bit quicker with the boots there. But Ricky going aggressively here.
Yeah, I thought Ricky was going to take the recall. He's going to stick around for these trades, though. He's going to be very, very low. Going to land the hook and have to back off here. Very low. Alonso is coming up to help now. See if Cloudy can get away. Alonso just going to show, try to land that sapling. Is going to get the flash, and Cloudy TP'd back to lane very shortly ago. So Ricky going to have the Sums advantage. Did have to burn the Ghost there, but nonetheless, he'll be able to get back to lane. Alonso going to hold the fort down in the meantime. Actually going to try to use the R, trying to stop the back, but not going to find us. So no Sums, no R top. You're spam pinging that one in the chats here, Jungler, if you see that. So Alonso would not be surprised to maybe see him make his way back top side, but Cloudy probably going to be ready for it in the next way up here.
Yeah, I think what this forces is Mephisto has to play towards that top side of the map now just to protect the Ornn, because you know there's solo kill threat coming through from Ricky here. Already has that Iron Spike whip. There's no armor built up quite yet on Cloudy. Seems like they're going to reset and just sort of get their resources back in tow. But what they do get on the opposite side of the map instead is that early Cloud Dragon. Bakery Boy just going to ult to clear that wave as well. Just try and find a reset timing for themselves. Erase here as well to sort of prevent the freeze. So at the very least,
Erase going to go all the way in. Going to try to land the combo. They are going to get the flash. Couple tower shots, but nonetheless did not take too much damage. So not a bad die for the Saints, all things considered. At least got the flash out. Didn't take any damage of note. Erase Still going to be sitting around here. Sunday, ooh, trying to look up. Is going to get the tag on Erase. Trundle's going to collapse here. Erase going to have to hook onto the chickens to try to get away. He is going to have to flash to safety. So a couple flashes burned in the mid lane, of course, but nothing going to be traded as a value. Rockboom, though, lots of damage onto Chiha here. Bakery Boy still trying to find some damage in this mid lane, doing a very good job.
Yeah, it needs to be incredibly careful, though, because that is level 6 on Chea already on this Aphelios. Was given a little bit more alone time, considering the amount of time that was spent over at that dragon and everything, but Rockboom should be getting that soon. I'm very curious to see if they opt to ult this wave, just to clear that out and find a reset for themselves, but Chea right now, green-white, such a devastating combo, especially in the 1v1 if you're able to find it, but with a little bit less health and mana that they were hoping for, it gives Rockboom the opportunity to push out this wave and then ult the next one, find a good reset for themselves here. So curious to see what the build coming through from Chea is going to be. There's a couple of different Aphelios builds that we've seen. The most common one is Gale Force into Bloodthirster to get yourself as much sustain as possible. But, you know, it is an option to see that come through in the MF as well. You know, of note, Deft at Worlds has been rushing Bloodthirster, actually going for the lethal tempo and trying to just deal damage and survive lanes that way, letting their support roam around. Interesting to see a little bit of a switch up coming through, but thus far these ADCs are dead even in terms of their itemization. Yeah,
and we're seeing pretty even CS numbers across the board as well. Mid lane looking like just about even. Ricky going to be the only one holding a pretty substantial lead. I mean, Darius going to be a bully in that lane, getting a lot of early damage. Going to have that early Iron Spike whip and going to go Yoinka jungle camp there as well. But he is going to have a collapse toward top side. Gonna have to try to get out of the river here. Cloudy is sitting here, maybe waiting with that R up as well. Ricky is just gonna fall back to his tower though, nothing gonna show. So maybe some kind of fight for the Herald here, but both teams still just kind of posturing, deciding what they want to do.
Yeah, and it's an expected result as well, especially when you've got this Trundle, you know, you've got this bot lane rotating up as well. It's expected for them to get a little bit more agency over this top side of the map. Alonso has that ultimate though. Let's see if they opt for a fight.
Yeah, they're not gonna go in just in time. Maryland is gonna be the one to get the Herald, but the Maokai are slowly crawling forward. Ricky gonna collapse on the team now, landing 2 hooks. Ornar is going to come through. Ricky's going to find first one onto the Trundle. Going to flash into the wall. Ricky finding 2. The Ricky Darius is back in action, getting an early double kill, getting some gold in his back pocket, and with already having such a nice CS advantage, that is going to be massive for the Saints topside, and Rockboom doing his thing down here in the bot lane as well, shoving this Aphelios under tower.
Yeah, and really well played overall, just in terms of the macro movements. You know, they get the Herald, but at what cost? And it's the rotation up coming through from Bakery Boy, dropping down the Chaos Storm just to sort of deal some chip damage overall. But then the gravity field as well, so perfectly placed right in between, you know, Darius as well as the rest of the team there. And the biggest thing to keep in mind, Chea rotated out early. They did not have the Aphelios on the scene, so it was just a straight up 3v3, and the Braum with no ultimate. Going to be in good shape there. Erase though, mid lane.
Oh, Erase and Bakery Boy trying to link up for this kill. Bakery Boy is going to back off. Just going to be out of that bandage tossed range, so don't want to risk anything there. Don't want to give any kills back over. Bullet time is going to come through to clear the wave, and as you said, Sunday, just going to sit there and eat that entire R. Take it, but that was mostly to clear the wave to avoid that possible dive, especially having a full health Braum and a full health Aphelios, and not having Erase, you know, doing his Mumu thing, wandering to the mid lane, seeing if he can land a bandage toss, come back really quickly. Bakery Boy, though, doing a very good job holding down a matchup that could have been potentially tricky for him as well.
Yeah, definitely a little bit difficult to play that one out in the sort of 1v2 situation, and that's sort of why we've seen this Bloodthirster rush sort of come through in a little bit, but Jay going in.
Erase going to land the Q, going to pop the R as well. Looks like Sunday might be caught out here, going to be Ignite. Oh, the E's going to follow. Saints are going to be able to link up for that kill. Beautifully timed dive and Erase. Once again, just landing every single skill shot he can. Bakery Boy trying to back the Orion out of lane here, trying to get the Rive out of here, but is that end up a little flash there, so a little bit of a skirmish in the mid lane there, but Bakery Boy is going to walk away just fine for the time being.
Yeah, really well played there overall, and you know, forces both summoners out of Chea there as well. Wasn't able to drop down that ultimate to potentially turn around that fight. Really good recognition of power from the side of the Saints there, recognizing it. You know, Mephisto can't be on this side of the map, isn't going to be able to reply to this gank, and Alonso just there to sort of support the play. Didn't have that ultimate, but still the threat, just sort of blocking off that river was enough to enable that play, and now thus far, a 2,000 gold lead sort of coming through from St. Clair, and it's on multiple fronts. I want to mention, look at that top side, you know, 1,100 gold coming through from this Darius over the Ornn. Expected result even just from the CS gap there, but even on the bottom side of the map now, Rockboom up 600, 700 gold for themselves, and they've been in a lot of 1v2 situations there. Chea hasn't really been able to punish as well as you could. Granted, Misfortune's early game, especially with that passive, the love tap, it's going to be significantly stronger than what the Aphelios can pump out. Once you get to 2-3 items, Aphelios start to really come online.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Maryland has been trying to set up some dives. You can tell they've been trying, you know, try to catch the Saints off guard, try to find these 2v1 dives, but Rockboom whether it's using the bullet time to clear the wave or Erase walking back just in time, Alonso coming down and showing just enough to keep Maryland back, doing a really good job of like somewhat answering and counter ganking. Then obviously they made that great play topside outside of the Herald pit as well. So just really solid play across the map for the Saints. Obviously you can see in the 0 deaths so far. So super clean game out of the entire team, and they're just going to look to keep probably stacking these objectives, trying to take these smart fights and, you know, just increase this lead slowly but surely.
And look at this play. Oh my goodness.
Slowly but surely, it's nothing. A good bandage toss going to go, and Rockman going to be sitting there. Damage loss going in. Erase going to have to back off. Their Ignite is going to find the kill. Bullet time comes through. They're going to find the kill on the back of the Maokai. Skirmish in the mid lane as well. Bakery Boy trying to fight off a 2v1. Not going to be enough though, but both bot laners are going to fall for Maryland, so it will be a 2-for-1. Rift Herald is going to get dropped in that mid lane though, so Maryland at least going to get some gold in their back pocket for the benefit there.
Yeah, they're going to get a significant amount of plates here because there's no reply coming through. You can just see now Rockboom moving up, so for a second there it looked like they could have potentially pushed for 3, but especially with Darius pinching down, you don't want to overextend.
Yeah.
It's going to afford them the dragon here, but nonetheless ends up being effectively a net neutral play. The 2 plates end up equating out to about a kill's worth of gold. But yeah, Sunbay thus far has had a really difficult time sort of piloting this Braum to the most that it can be. You know, wasn't able to pop that Unbreakable there to keep them their AD carry alive. You know, had to use the Glacial Fissure to try and disengage that fight, but Rockboom so patient on this Misfortune ultimate, holding until all the crowd control is gone, then is able to drop that down, and Chea had no way out. The cleanse, of course, it was burned in that last engage, and they recognize that, able to find the kill there. But nonetheless, it's still relatively even, and actually get a little bit of a replay of that fight, Jobin.
Yeah, look at Erase, never scared to be the first man in there. I've been saying it for weeks. He likes to get his hands dirty, likes to start these fights. Couple R combination, bullet time, Maokai are going to go through. Obviously, though, that mid lane skirmish not going to go. Bakery's Boy tried to pop the R and keep things going, but again, just the strategy has been feed Rockboom, and if Ricky can get ahead as well, too, it seems to be a pretty good strategy for the Saints. So we're going to trust in, you know, it's kind of something we've seen the last couple games, but obviously a team as strong as Maryland, they're probably going to find some answer somewhere at some point, so you have to stay on your A game.
Yeah, and this is especially a matchup that is indicative of the power of St. Clair. Hold on.
Ricky, gonna get the flash burn from Mephisto.
There we go.
Yeah, I'll go on Mephisto. Ricky, though, Maokai is gonna come through once again. Gonna be chopped up here. Alonso maybe gonna fall. Ricky not gonna find the kill on the dunk. Lots of healing going through, but Ricky, actually, it's gonna be Bakery Boy finding that kill, so some gold in the Victor's back pocket. Ricky gonna pick up the assist there. So the Saints still able, I believe that was gonna end up being a 1-for-1, though. So again, another pretty net neutral trade, all things considered.
What is it with these teams having really hard to say IGNs? Oh my.
Erase does not want to stop going in. He's going to come through Erase in a very, very bad way. Gonna hook onto the Braum. Pop the R. Bullet time comes through. Going to find one. Almost going to find that second kill. Rockboom should be able to find it. And he's going to find the double kill. Erase facilitating like a true point guard, getting Rockboom as easy a kills as you could ask for. Rockboom, excellent job to finish it off there. And he's going to be up to 5-0 now. And this is something we love to see from the Saints. I just talked about how if you can get this bot lane ahead, you can be in a very good spot. And Rockboom and Erase picking up where they left off.
Yeah, incredible play overall coming through from Rockboom and Erase thus far. You know, holding on to that ultimate forever. Once again, the patience coming through from Erase, waiting for that right time to go in for it. Chea once again burns the cleanse early, and that enables this whole play to sort of erupt from there. Taking a look at it once again, just watch Chea has the cleanse available right now. Erase going to go in onto Sunbay. They don't use the ultimate yet. They're holding. They wait for the crowd control to go through. You see Rockboom going to be able to get knocked up, but just barely. But then look at that. On the re-engage, just holding that Misfortune ultimate. Doesn't want that to get interrupted, and just the angle on it as well forces Chea into a situation where they didn't have flash up yet. They are forced to walk right into the teeth of that bullet time. Yeah,
and this second Herald is going to go over to Maryland. We saw the Hex flash over the wall. Maryland might try to turn this fight, though. Going to try to get some damage. Ornar is going to go through double knockup. Ricky is going to have to flash away. Braum trying to frontline. Alonso going to pop that R. Race maybe coming in from this top side. Maybe try to make a play. Damage going into Cloudy. Not going to find the kill to that Orn. Very, very tanky, even though it's early in the game. Already has the Sunfire in the Bramble Vest, so not going to go down very easily. Although Bakery point Erase. Knowing Erase, he's going to try to swing in down here anyways, like Spider-Man, and try to make this play. So I'm not convinced this fight's actually over yet. The Saints still posturing like they maybe want to do something, but it looks like both teams are going to back off here.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, I believe during that replay, bot lane turret was collected. Erase doesn't have the ultimate up quite yet. I doubt we're going to see a player up from there. I don't know, though.
We've seen crazy. They're going to pop the blue trinket as well. Ricky going to be playing in this top side bush, trying to get that early combo in on Cloudy. Find that advantage. Going to land the hook. Trying to land a couple autos as well. Going to land the spin. Going to dunk on him. Going to get the flash out as well. And Ricky still half HP. Burn not going to quite finish the job there. I believe that Orange is having a little too much health. Although it was damn close. Ricky going to get this demolished proc now. Try to get down this top tower. The Saints are really starting to flow toward this Maryland side of the map as well.
And you can just see their macro movements are on point. You can see how laser focused they are. You know, talking to the coaches before, they said, York, not the best series, really rough
You
for
could
them.
tell they kind of, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't their best performance at all, but now 2 weeks later, you can see a performance against arguably a stronger team at that. It's really nice to see them bounce back in this way. Granted, still early on into this game, but a 4,000 gold lead at 17 minutes is rather substantial here. You can see exactly where that gold has sort of been allocated as well. The Misfortune has the components, almost a full Lord Dominic's Regards. I would assume that possibly has enough gold for that if we can get a check on that. That Misfortune should have enough to finish that very soon. Yep, just, another couple of waves and she'll be able to get to that 2-item mark. Up 1,800 gold over Chea at this point. You can be as good of a player as you want, but if you have a gold deficit, you still need to respect the enemies in that case. Same thing happening on the top side. 2.2 thousand gold lead for Ricky. He's going to be able to be a menace in the side lane, and doesn't matter if it's the Ornn or the Orianna at this point. No one can answer the Darius.
Yeah, and that's what we said about Ricky getting that hyper carry Darius. It was maybe possibly his strongest champ. It always got banned away instantly. Although Maryland, they're going to get a good push here into this mid tower, should be able to take this T1 tower, but Darius is going to show up and 5 members are going to go running, but they're going to get set up for this next dragon fight. Going to be up in 5 seconds here. The Saints going to posture, and if I know my man Erase, he's looking for the angle here. The Ornar is going to come through, going to knock up Ricky. Caught in a very bad spot though. All members of Maryland collapsing. Ricky trying to get away. Going to be stunned up again. Going to be knocked up again, and Ricky going to fall 1-for-0. All Maryland members still very, very healthy, just getting caught out, not able to connect back to the team. And I'm guessing this will be a dragon over to Maryland unless the Saints decide they want to say something about it. But yeah, I think they'll just give probably.
There's a little bit of concern still for the side of Maryland here. Of note, they use so many ultimates to take down the Darius here, and they haven't reset, they haven't spent their gold. This is an opportunity for Saints to really push forward their advantages.
Yeah, I thought they maybe were going to, Erase going to flash over the wall, land the first Spanish toss, going to land the R, going to stun 3, Naka going to go through as well. Maryland trying to fight back here. Erase is going to fall. Alonso going to find the trade out there. Alonso still finding damage. Look at this damage. The R going through, bullet time coming through, flash goes out. They are going to steal the dragon there. Maryland getting this fight turned on its head. The Saints finding 3, looking to find a 4th now, just escaping with his life. Derive trying to walk away. They're going to stop the back in the pit. 2 for Rock Boom. It's only Derive. Flash burn there. Victor E trying to find that last kill. Minions not going to find the kill. Bakery Boy, though, still searching for this kill. Trying to find the ace. And there it is for the Saints. A beautiful play. Stolen Dragon. Ace for the Saints. Only losing 1 member, being Ricky early on in the fight. Everybody else survives.
Yeah, Erase is the only other one to fall there, but nonetheless, a great ultimate. Forces out so many summoners, and on the turnaround, that Misfortune ultimate was incredible. Shredding down the dragon really just put Mephisto in a really difficult situation because there's so much damage coming down from so many different sources. You need to time that smite, and unfortunately under pressure, it seems as if it was the aftershock of the laser that collected that one. That last little bit of damage, as we said, when there's just so much damage being thrown out, it is so difficult as a jungler to secure that. And now 6,000 gold in the lead is St. Clair. Very, very curious to see what Maryland reply with. But yeah, let's take a look at that fight once again.
Yeah, and this replay was a beautiful disaster for the Saints to start off. Look at Rock Boom, bullet time, having the keen ability to flash out of there, knowing the fight wasn't going to go his way there. Gonna back up, land the Q. Malquai popping off Alonso, just doing so much this game, and Bakery Boy and Alonso never gave up the chase for Derive. They were hunting down that ace, at least gonna get the flash if they traded flash. Their minions almost taking him down. Bakery Boy, again, searching for that ace and finding it. Beautiful play for the Saints, completely turning it on his head. And as you said, they used so much just to kill Ricky because of the threat of the Darius being on the back line. They were fully healthy for that drag fight, and the Saints just completely throttled them.
And now you look at the builds across the board here. It's 2.5 items on Rock Boom, 7, 0, and 2 for the Misfortune. Wow. This is the person to watch here, and Rock Boom has had fantastic performances across so many games. Even in losses, they've been probably the ace of the team, so to speak, if you want to put it that way. And now you can see them 7-0 and 2 up against probably the toughest bot lane they've had to go up against since Fisher College. Once again, against Fisher, Rock Boom was able to fly high and really show how strong they are as a player. And now, once again, against Chea, just showing they are the better AD carry right now, and they're so strong. Now, though, starting to posture around this Baron. It is early. It is 21 minutes into this one, but it is always a threat, especially with how fed this AD carry is. There's so much Baron damage available for them. Yeah, the Saints are not really afraid to take any fights, especially after winning that one over pretty much without Ricky the entire time as well. So they're confident if they can get some of these abilities burned. Ricky is going to miss the hook. Going to have to be careful. You don't want to get caught out twice in a row. Maryland will probably learn from their mistakes. Probably not have to invest as much to find that kill, but the Saints really want to get this Baron. Maryland holding the line of scrimmage right now, deciding if they want to try to make a push here. The Saints, though, on the backside of this pit, just trying to posture. While they are starting it on the backside, they know Rock Boom, as you said. They have lots of items. They have lots of damage to try to burn this thing down. So they're going to try to do it. Maryland, they're going to take a couple recalls probably. Looks like they might get this over, although it looks like they maybe going to try to turn now. Cloudy
starting to posture. Derive going up top as well. Maybe going to try to sneak in the back of the pit. Ricky, though, is going to spot him out.
It's too late.
Derive, he's all alone now, and I don't think, unless he gets a steal here, that's going to be a Baron for the Saints, and Derive is probably going to fall. Ricky going to dunk on his head, and just like that, Baron and one Derive just kind of walking all over Vision, not really having a good plan there. All Maryland was taking recalls, and that's a free Baron.
Yeah, it was completely under the guise of the darkness there. You know, the control ward that went down. 2.5 KHP, you have to try and steal it with a shockwave, but Alonso doing a great job of waiting, not smiting it right at 900, just waiting until it's, 500. Yep. There's no jungler to sort of threaten that, and now look at the push on the back end of this. You don't have this Orianna who is so much of your teamfight threat, sort of your secondary engage. Don't have that tool in your back pocket now, 9,000 gold up. There's still a lot of gold to spend on the side of Saints, but even still, with just what's in their inventory, they have enough to push down at least another turret. Rockboom's going to be resetting. That's a full Infinity Edge that he's got in the inventory ready to buy. Yeah,
and you gave another kill over to that Darius, so just going to feed him more gold. The one you can clearly see they're targeting. Ricky is kind of the key that they want to stop in this fight, although Rockboom, obviously, not silently, has been popping off just like usual. So now the Saints have multiple angles where they can try to take these fights, try to potentially start to set up this win as well. But we've seen they've done a really good job of when they get leads like this, they just play super safe. Rockboom will still end up only having 1 or 2 deaths by the end of the game. They just play really safe with that lead. They don't want to make any crazy plays, but they're not afraid to jump at an opportunity if it presents itself either.
And now looking at the opportunities even for Maryland to sort of get back into this one, it's starting to become fewer and further between at this point. They're just trying to push whatever sort of man advantage they can. Bakery Boy doesn't really want to threaten this, but has enough damage to just poke out Mephisto over and over again. First strike gold is still going to be giving you value out of this, but 4 people on this top side of the map sort of overloading this top side, trying to pick up some of these objective bounties that I believe they have available to them. Bakery Boy has enough wave clear, though. It's so difficult to fight up against this, and even if they're taking the tier 2, look at this in the mid lane.
Flash bullet time. Alonso gonna get the stun. Bullet time not gonna find the kill. Alonso gonna send this R over toward this Nexus of Maryland. They will find the kill. Cloudy trying to come stop this kill. He's gonna get tagged down. Stopwatch gonna get popped. Tower's gonna fall. Rockboom and Alonso will end up finishing off that kill. Bakery Boy killing a whole lot of time in this top lane, though. 2 for 1. They're still trying to find this kill. He will finally get shut down by the Braum. Saints will take an inhibitor. They're gonna try to push into this Nexus as well. They're gonna try to fight these recalls. Exactly. The Saints, they're going to tag down these towers. They might be able to end the game, and it looks like they actually will. The Saints, 17-7 in kills, 23 minutes in. They will actually end up taking out Maryland in this battle of the undefeateds. 1-0 over to St. Clair to kick things off.
Chea died on the top side of the map. Bakery Boy was able to find one in the 1v3, and that's what ends up being the difference maker there. There was no damage left. It's the Trundle and a Braum. It's going to take a lot of time, and Bakery Boy showing up with a great side lane play. What seemed a little bit puzzling out of the side of Maryland for them to try and force that down. They were pushing against Baron.
It's almost like the Jack split push we saw last week where it's like, get a recall? No, it's like there's 3 of them with Baron minions running at the Nexus, and you already know they have the item and the damage advantage, so you're not going to win the tower race. Maybe a questionable push, but again, they were looking for that win condition, and they were maybe having a hard time finding it. Saints had taken Baron. I believe they had 2 to 3 dragons already, so maybe they were seeing our win condition might be slipping away because they really couldn't take a 5v5 with the Saints. They were just going to flat out lose as long as there was 1 decent stun. Yeah. Maybe they're like, okay, try to get the side push, maybe try to race him for an inhibitor, then take a recall, but not enough time.
Yeah, and I think the main thing is just Victor gives you so much wave clear, especially when you've got the Baron minions to sort of supplement it. You're always pushing waves with that. You've always got enough to resist it, and unfortunately, it just seemed as if the side of Maryland didn't quite have enough. Like their mascot suggests, they might have just needed to turtle up a little bit there and hold the line for just a little bit longer, but unfortunately, it just seems as if Saints, they had a game plan and they were willing to execute it, and it works out so well in their favor once it comes down to it. They basically ended the game with 2 members recalling on the top side of the map for Maryland. They just weren't able to sort of figure it out for themselves. But I am expecting this series still to go to 3 games because, if anything, with the expertise and the personnel behind this Maryland squad, I know Coach Julius over there, he's thinking of something real, something different to pull out. He's got the big brain coming through. This is a really well-respected coach in the scene. So I'm really excited to see what game 2 holds. But thus far, Saints already putting a little bit of that dagger in there. They just got to twist the knife now. Yeah, just going to come back. We're going to take a very quick break, though. We'll get you guys to game 2. I'm sure we'll see some adjustments. I'm sure we'll see some mix-up. That's the beautiful thing about League. So Saints up 1-0 over Maryland. Both 6-0s. We'll see who can take game 2 after the break. Or agency over this top side of the map. Alonso has that ultimate, though. Let's see if they opt for a fight. Yeah, they're not going to go in just in time. Maryland is going to be the one to get the Herald, but the Maokai are slowly crawling forward. Ricky going to collapse on the team now, landing 2 hooks. Ornar is going to come through. Ricky's going to find first one onto the Trundle. Going to flash into the wall. Ricky finding 2. But surely. And look at this play. Slowly but surely, nothing. A good advantage toss going to go, and Rotham going to be sitting there. Damage lots going in.
Race gonna have to back off. Their Ignite is gonna find the kill. Bullet time comes through. They're gonna find the kill on the back of the Maokai. Skirmish in the mid lane as well. Bakery Boy trying to fight off a 2v1. Not gonna be enough though, but both bot laners are gonna fall for Maryland, so it will be a 2-for-1.
The power of St. Clair. Hold on.
Ricky gonna get the flash burn from Mephisto.
There we go.
Yeah, I'll go on Mesto. Ricky though, Maokai is gonna come through once again. Gonna be chopped up here.
my.
Alonzo maybe gonna fall. Ricky not gonna find the kill on the dunk. Lots of healing going through. Still able. I believe that was gonna end up being a 1-for-1 though. So again, another pretty net neutral trade, all things considered.
What is it with these teams having really hard to say IGNs? Oh my.
Erase does not want to stop going in. He's going to come through Erase in a very, very bad way.
Oh.
Gonna hook onto the Braum. Pop the R. Bullet time comes through. Going to find one. Almost going to find that second kill. Rock Boom should be able to find it. And he's going to stun 3. Not going to go through as well. Maryland trying to fight back here. Erase is going to fall. Alonzo going to find the trade out there. Alonzo still finding damage. Look at this damage. The R going through. Bullet time coming through. Flash goes out. They are going to steal the dragon there. Maryland getting this fight turned on its head. The Saints finding 3. Looking to find a 4th now. Just escaping with his life. Derive trying to walk away. They're gonna stop the back in the pit. 2 for Rock Boom. It's only Derive. Flash burn there. Victor E trying to find that last kill. Minions not gonna find the kill. Bakery Boy though still searching her. Erase is gonna fall. Alonzo gonna find the trade out there. Alonzo still finding damage. Look at this damage. The R going through. Bullet time coming through. Flash goes out. They are gonna steal the dragon there. Maryland getting this fight turned on its head. The Saints finding 3. Looking to find a 4th now. Just escaping with his life. Derive trying to walk away. They're gonna stop the back in the pit. 2 for Rock Boom. It's only Derive. Flash burn there. Victor E trying to find that last kill. Minions not going to find the kill. Bakery Boy though still searching for this kill, trying to find the ace, and there it is for the Saints.
Trying to pick up some of these objective bounties that I believe they have available to them. Bakery Boy has enough weight though. It's so difficult to fight up against this, and even if they're taking the tier 2, look at this in the mid lane.
Flash bullet time. Alonzo gonna get the stun. Bullet time not gonna find the kill. Alonzo gonna send this R over towards this Nexus of Double Maryland. They will find the kill. Cloudy trying to come stop this kill. He's gonna get tagged down. Stopwatch gonna get popped. Tower's gonna fall. Rockboom and Alonzo will end up finishing off that kill. Bakery Boy killing a whole lot of time in this top lane though. 2 for 1. They're still trying to find this kill. He will finally get to the Braum. Saints will take an inhibitor. They're gonna try to push into this Nexus as well. They're gonna try to fight these recalls. Exactly. The Saints, they're gonna tag down these towers. They might be able to end the game, and it looks like they actually will. The Saints 17-7 in kills, 23 minutes in. They will actually end up taking out Maryland in this battle of the undefeateds. 1-0 over to St. Clair to kick things off.
Jaya died on the top side of the map. Bakery Boy was able to find one in the
And welcome back in, everybody, to our, Maryland St. Clair NACE StarLeague Battle of the Undefeated. Saints did take the first game 1-0. Very, very exciting game. Saints played an extremely clean game. All 5 members did exactly what they were trying to do there. They got the job done. Maryland now looking for the bounce back. And we've seen some pretty big switch-ups in some of these drafts the last couple weeks, so curious to see how the dice are going to fall here.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, first band is going to be the misfortune. They want to take that out of Rock Boom's hands, and for good reason, a really fantastic performance in that first matchup, of course. Sides have been swapped here, so now St. Clair, are they going to go for some of these default bans that you have to go for on red side? Are they going to ban out the Caitlyn? Are they going to ban out the Yuumi? No, they're going to ban out the Talon again.
Well, and I'm guessing Talon Rengar. We're probably going to see the same couple of jungle bans come through. We are going to see the Silas ban coming through from Maryland, so trying to take that blind mid away from the Saints. They want to maybe, not let those ultimates get stolen some way, because we know Silas such a strong pick. Silas is here, 2 of the top blind pick mid, so not surprising to see him gone, and there goes the kitty as well.
Yeah, and I think overall what this does now that they see that St. Clair aren't going for any of these expected bans, it forces the hand a little bit of Maryland to take away the Silas now. They didn't really want to have to ban this. They'd prefer that St. Clair ban it out. It will be that third ban on the Aatrox though, so at the very least they are going to just leave up that Caitlyn. Maybe they've got some draft planned for it in that situation because we've seen what Caitlyn can do. 650 range is just so strong.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure the Saints, along with every other league team, is probably preparing for Caitlyn to be first picked. You have to have some strategy to play against this champ, otherwise you're going to be in for a real rough time in this meta, so I'm sure they have something ready. We are going to see the Jax ban on the other side from Maryland as well, so taking away one of Ricky's champs, going to leave the Darius and whatever else open for now, but Maryland first picking Caden. Saints are going to answer with Varus.
Yeah, and Varus has been it's been growing in popularity a lot more because there is 3 viable builds. It's ridiculous that this champion can still somehow build lethality and be effective. AP Varus has gotten a little bit of attention as well, but this on-hit build is just so strong as well. The Sejuani gonna get locked in as well. This is sort of another one of those S-tier picks that we've seen erupt just because it's flexible,
safe,
and it's very, very safe as you're talking about. But Maryland do have that option to go for the Trundle as an answer, but they're just going to pick up a Fiora instead, scared that that's going to be banned away by St. Clair.
Yeah, Fiora, definitely interesting pick to see through. Usually you see the Aatrox and the Fiora band hand-to-hand. It's usually one of those counter picks, but to see it come through, it can be a very exciting champion to watch and very, very scary to play against, especially if those parries are well-timed every time. And we are going to see Maryland. I believe Trundle was his 3rd best jungler, so not surprising to see him come through, and it plays really well into the Sejuani as well.
Yeah, and of note, Fiora has a lot of really nice things to parry already with the Chain of Corruption as well as that Ice Bola from the Sejuani. So, you have 2 very good forms of crowd control to be able to dodge away from. Very curious to see what the answer is if they're going to opt for a top laner. The Yasuo comes out, and this is interesting because, Yasuo can technically be played mid. It's more so just about how much scouting has gone on as well. Of note, though, with the Caitlyn picked up, Morgana has to be a ban.
Yeah, not surprising. You're maybe going to see the Lux ban, but Morgana, I think it's a little bit more annoying to play against in that bot lane. I think it's just a little more cringe to have to go against, so not too surprising. It was going to be one of those 2 champs banned away. That Yasuo, if it is the Yasuo-Fiora matchup, I'm very excited. Get to see a little sword duel in that top lane, assuming that's how it's going to fall. We're going to see that Malphite ban come through as well, so Maryland maybe has maybe an eye for what's coming, although we'll have to see how it plays out the rest of the way.
And of course, we are privy to the information that Ricky had a fantastic... The last time I think they got Yasuo was against Fisher, 21 kills on the Yasuo, had themselves a time. So maybe just wanting to take out some of these knock-up champions as well in case, maybe they just switch around. Maybe they just put Bakery Boy top and say, hey, play Malphite or something like that. But it seems like they're just trying to take away some of those knock-ups. Interesting to see them not ban away something like the Diana with that, maybe just knowing full well that if this is going to be the Sejuani, it's going into the jungle, it's in Alonso's champion pool. Granted, Alonso has also played Diana this season, but the Ornn going to be taken away. These could technically end up being 2 wasted bans in a lot of ways, and Maryland might not have been prepared for what's to come. And now you just get the agency to hide that pick until R5 because you pick up this Soraka. Does really well into the likes of Caitlyn because Caitlyn doesn't really have a lot of burst. She has a lot of consistent damage, consistently autoing you down, and Soraka's really going to be good at answering that.
Yeah, we saw the Renata ban coming through for the Saints, and we talked about it a lot before. We wouldn't be surprised to see the Senna pick actually come through. We said that one of the coaches said as well, that's a champ that Maryland member was very, very confident. It was basically their one trick, so considering how the cards have fallen here, we could still see the Lux come through. Definitely would still be a viable choice, but wouldn't be surprised to see that come through as well. And we said it, Tyler mentioned to it earlier, so shout out to Larry, said they're kind of expecting to see the Senna, especially depending on how some of these bans fell, but as you said, Soraka, pretty solid answer to that as well.
Yeah, and the main thing about Senna here is just it's their one trick. They're so confident on this champion, but the Azir are going to come through blind. Not too surprising there. You need to pick something up into that. But what is Bakery Boy going to pick up here? Is it going to actually even be Bakery Boy's pick? Or are they just going to pull up the Azir and say, hey, you know what? All of that stuff you're preparing for, maybe not. The Akali is a very strong pickup here because look at the side of Maryland. Where's the front line?
Trundle? Question mark?
It can be a frontliner. And I mean, that is the objectively correct answer. It is Trundle, but that is it.
Yeah.
Look at the rest of the comp. You know, you've got double 80 carries effectively. You've got Fiora, who doesn't really want to be the front of the fight. She wants to be coming in from the side. And you've got Azir, who can shuffle people back, but if you can't shuffle back the Akali as easily, especially with all of her mobility, we saw this matchup come through. I believe Zeka was the one to pull out the Akali against the Azir from... Oh my goodness, I'm not going to blank on it now. Chovy there on Sunday as well, and Chovy just couldn't land the shuffle half the time. It was so difficult to come through so often, so very likely that we are to see a little bit of a skill matchup there, not only in the mid lane, but also in that top lane. Very curious to see how that plays out, because overall, this matchup is going to be... It's just so much damage. There's so much damage everywhere in this one.
That's what I said. Being the mechanically gifted seems to be the play for this matchup. You're going to see the Fiora, the Yasuo, and the Akali. Plenty of solo carry capabilities. Lots of flashy abilities to be, possibly be made these plays. I'm really excited to see, especially if they maybe do flex the Akali top. Maybe Bakery Boy and Ricky do some kind of switch. Although I would more than likely expect Ricky to take that Yasuo top because, just leave Ricky in his consistent lane. He's going to hold the fort down. Although Bakery Boy has been honestly just quietly super consistent. He's had these pop-off games, but most of the time he's going to have like 2 1-6 stat line, but he played every team fight really well. He zoned perfectly with the Victor last game, found a couple of huge frags, so it'd be nice to see the boys try to come back, get this second win, get that first seed locked up, and try to, avoid having to play Maryville and, what was that, Hutchers?
Harrisburg.
Harrisburg, that's what I almost said, Hutchersburg University. So you want to get yourself a good seed, get out of that, that pit at the bottom, try to find these wins, but we are just getting over onto the Rift now. So, Game 2, will it play out different than Game 1? St. Clair they didn't dominate the first half of Game 1, but ultimately they ended up being in full control by about that mid to late game, and they ended up storming over Maryland. Now we'll have to see how the answer comes out.
And of course, a little bit of trading already early on, Ricky. Perfectly content to take that one. I mean, Yasuo has the shield just to block everything on the flow, so ends up winning the trade. Cool. Good sign for the early game. But nonetheless here, I mean, other teams you want to sort of avoid for the side of St. Clair come through in the form of Florida Southern College. This is a school that not a lot of people know about, but consistently they've been a little bit of a dark horse every single year. They show up in scrims and they show up real good. You never really know what their full potential is. A Peach Belt Conference team in past seasons. So sometimes you just gotta expect the unexpected in that sense. You just want to dodge any of the first seeds. You want to be that first seed because you're putting down your foot. And thus far, Game 1, already making sure that teams like Maryville and Harrisburg, if this series does end up going the way of Maryland, are like, if we have our choice, we will avoid St. Clair. Let's hold them off until later, because they showed how strong they can play up against a very talented roster in Maryland. Nonetheless, early on, seems like both junglers going to be going on opposite sides of the map again. This time, though, Mephisto going to be playing towards the bot side of the map here once again, and it's going to be Alonso playing towards top side. Same as last game, but of course on opposite sides of the Rift.
Yeah, and Saints usually more than happy to keep that bot side, and honestly, they kind of let that bot side get a little bit shoved under tower into Game 1, but Alonso, being perfectly timed man, he has always showed up exactly at the perfect time to calculate, find those dives, and that's the Saints. They do such a good job of, even when they don't necessarily have the longest openings, when they're open, they take full advantage. They try to make some kind of play out of it, so we'll have to see if they can, continue more of that performance as things progress here.
Yeah, and realistically here, Senna Caitlyn is going to shove in the Verisrock every single time. You're double ranged, you're double insane ranged at that.
I was going to say, double, triple range.
You're crazy ranged at that, and I mean, Sunbay, we'll have to keep an eye on the stacks, but Erase already forced the flash.
Yeah, gonna have to flash back to the tower there. Sunbay is gonna land that chain up. Ricky farming away in this top wave, trying to get Cloudy backed off a little bit, but as we are gonna see, gonna be early priority for Maryland in this bot lane, so patiently wait for Alonso, march his way down there and try to end up setting up some kind of play, being like the perfect support jungler, as I mentioned before, just being all over the map. Bakery Boy, a little bit under tower here, trying to get this farm off, and we've got pretty impressive sword though going off in the top lane there.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't think they ended up finding matching skins to go with there.
Oh,
that would have been the perfect thing, because I'm pretty sure there are a couple of skin lines that they do share in some regard, or at least, color coordination. That would have been the true duel in that, but nonetheless here, always going to have to be curious about how many stacks Sunbay has, because that's the main thing to keep in mind. You get more lifesteal, inherent lifesteal, you get more range, you get more crit chance, and if this is going to be, there's a couple of different Senna builds that we can see. Fleet Footwork generally means that we're going to see something like Eclipse, potentially Umbral Glaive. There's another build that's come up from 9 Lives, another high elo Senna main, who likes to go for something along the lines of Storm Razor, even, just to sort of get that first auto and guarantee stacks every single time. So always curious to see how that is. Bakery Boy, though,
getting a little risky. A little risky in the mid lane there. Don't want to give any kills over to that Azir early. You know, once that Azir gets up, scales well. You don't want to put him online too early. Bakery Boy, though, still had that potion in his back pocket, just waiting. Trying to wait for that health regen this bot lane. Still just trying to passively farm. Don't want to get shoved under. Maryland trying to put a little bit of pressure. And yeah, Kate Senna, they're going to outrange pretty much anyone in the game. So as expected, Bakery Boy taking a couple tags up there in the mid lane. Grace going to land the silence. Rockman is going to get chained up there. Bakery Boy still in a little bit of trouble there. Going to get the tag through. Sunbay going to get forced back here. Trying to land the silence as he race. So decent trade back for the Saints, all things considered. But very much, you know, not necessarily a massively slower game than the first one, but definitely you can see they've both taken a step back.
Yeah, and you can see that overall, it's Maryland trying to control the pacing of this early game. Granted, Cloudy's still going to have to be really careful here. Alonso is on this top side of the map here, and you know, with a pretty big wave to work with, you know, Yasuo wants to have a big wave to work with so he can continue dashing in and out, finding the opportunities that they could. Here's the play, though.
Yeah, they are going to collapse. Cloudy is going to flash out right away. Alonso going to land the stun, going to try to land that parry. They are going to find the stun. Root's going to come through. Might be able to find the kill here. Ricky should be able to finish this one off. He'll take the kill, dash to safety. Beautiful job by Alonso to tank, I believe, 3 tower shots there as well. So Ricky could find that kill, try to get ahead of this Fiora. And again, they just want to try to get Ricky online nice and early, get him ahead of this Fiora, and it'll make their lives a lot easier, especially when it comes down when you have to deal with that split push later in the game.
Yeah, and of course, with the teleport available now for Ricky, he doesn't have to use that to get back to lane here. He's going to have a tangible advantage. Did just flash, I believe, Mephisto went for a little bit of a flash pillar. Oh my goodness.
Wow, and Rockboom gonna flash, get the kill. Sunbay gonna fall. Oh, Chia trying to run away. Flash gonna go through Rockboom though, not giving up chase. Him in a race. Gonna try to run and finish this one off. Rockboom, a couple autos. Waiting to charge this arrow. Pierces Caitlyn, gonna find the kill there. Rockboom mini race. Once again, gonna find 2 kills in this bot lane. And man, I don't know how these two do it. I've got to ask them after. They just find some way, when it doesn't really look like there should be a kill angle, they end up with that double kill. This looks a lot similar to the first game. Ricky finding that solo kill topside. Well, not solo. Alonso helping out bot lane, getting it done, not even needing that jungle pressure. Like we said, they get shoved under the entire game. The second they stop getting shoved, they turn and they find 2 kills.
Incredible play coming through from Rockboom and Erase. I think the main thing to keep in mind, though, Sunday getting a little bit too greedy, trying to pick up maybe a soul off the ground. Looking for this. Did just flash, I believe.
Yeah, they are going to try to go through here. Yeah, just a lot of damage going through, but huge fight for the Saints. Ricky trying to hold serve on this top side, just trying to wait for that level 6 maybe. You don't want to let that Fiora get back in the game, and Alonso do some vision clearing here. Maybe try to set up for the Herald eventually. The first dragon has spawned as well. Shuffle is going to go through, though. Alonso in a very bad spot. Going to have to flash out, and he is going to be able to dash away, though. So luckily, going to escape with his life on an attempted all-in from Maryland.
Yeah, and I mean, good flash as well because Mephisto, with that pillar, really, really difficult to get away from that, especially after that pass has been popped on Alonso. Mid lane, oh bye.
Yeah, Baker Boy knowing the shuffle's down now. Going to try to put some pressure on Derive here. Finding a lot of damage. Going to dash back in that Shroud. Is going to walk away, but massive damage going to go in on Derive, though. So Bakery Boy, now he realizes the second he can even try to take a small advantage of this lane, he's going to. But Maryland looking to try to set up a dive here. Bakery Boy gonna have to fall back to tower. Multiple members are trying to get on here. The Senna is walked up, trying to get the damage, trying to land the chain. I think he actually did land the chain under tower there, but not sure if they're going to be able to find that dive or not. The spot lane still poking away back and forth. Bakery Boy, though, of course, on the Akali, very, very hard champ to track down. Did end up escaping there.
Yeah, actually, I want to point out something interesting here. Erase opting for the Spell Thief's Edge, and I'm very curious to see when that gets stacked up, because you can already see on the opposite side, the Spectral Sickle is already complete. Erase is going to have a lot of trouble trying to build up those stacks over time because of this double range bot lane. If they can finish this up around 8 or 9 minutes, they're going to be in good shape. They've just finished it. Never mind. Forget my point. I was going to say, you know, Relic Shield might have been the answer, but nonetheless, Erase showing us that, you know, there's a reason why Race is playing and I'm not.
Exactly.
I'll put it that way.
Exactly, and playing multiple different champs. He knows how it works. We saw Mesto looking to maybe try to set up this bot lane dive. Is maybe still trying to look for the angle here. The Saints just going to farm away here. Ricky still going to try to hold Prio in this top wave. Just be a little bit behind on the Fiora as far as level, but the Saints, they're going to smell Mesto in the jungle here. Try to collapse. Going to get that blue away. Alonso trying to skirmish here. Mesto is going to walk away. Has that blue buff, and they're going to have to back off the race as well. Ooh, just going to miss with the chains as well. So Maryland able to take the blue buff, and again, this dragon is still up, so these teams probably trying to figure out how to posture for this one.
And very likely this goes over to the side of Maryland. You know, at this point, you know, it's very difficult for the Soraka to walk up, especially at half HP. Hasn't really gotten any sort of strong reset yet, but instead, it seems as if they're going to back off for the time being. And Mephisto doesn't want to push their advantage, and Bakery Boy always looking to try and make some sort of play. Granted, Emperor's Divide is up. Shuriken Flip lands, though.
Yeah, he's going to go for the all-in. Going to try to force Derive to go back to the jungle side, bot side here. Shuffle is going to come through. Bakery Boy going to take some damage, but a perfect getaway there. Beautiful job to take that Azir down 75% and get out of dodge, knowing there was a second member up in his grill. is going to walk away there again on the winning side of that trade. Ricky still just chipping away at this top wave here. Very back and forth. Expected, you know, what we expected to see, a pretty even topside matchup. Bakery Boy trying to hold it down in the mid lane, and both these teams still trying to maybe set up for Dragon here. Maryland trying to pressure, but the Saints do have the numbers advantage. Alonso going to try to go in. R's not going to land. Not going to land the stun either, so maybe not going to try to make a play just yet for that Dragon.
It seems that Chea had to burn the cleanse earlier here as lots of damage coming through in mid lane as well. Here comes the Ghost though from Rockboom. This might be the play.
Yeah, Rockboom going to try to turn the fight. Is going to get the chains landed on him. The Saints are going to have to follow back here. Rockboom going to take damage. Massive heal though from that Soraka or Alonso. Going to try to get the re-engage here. Rockboom, very low HP. That Soraka just keeping him up and healed as long as possible. Bakery Boy trying to zone off Derive here out of this fight. The Saints still trying to look to posture for this Dragon. Neither team wanting to give an inch for any of these objectives this game.
Yeah, sort of dipping the toe in the water, say not too hot, and the other, you know, Maryland just dipping it in. Oh, a little bit too cold.
Yeah.
No one really getting too much of an advantage. Bakery Boy has had this health advantage for it feels like 2-3 minutes in this mid lane, but yet
I know.
Derive just playing so safe every single time. But now you see the power of the Caitlyn, despite that early death. Probably, I want to get a check on this. Very close in terms of gold here. Might just be a little bit behind here. Yeah, only 300 gold down, and that's based off of the CS. You know, that's the power of getting that CS lead for themselves. Granted, Rockboom going to be able to clean up this wave pretty safely. Oh,
wow. Bakery Boy all in a flash, in an instant. Don't blink or you'll miss it. This guy finding ways to get it done in that mid lane, and that should be the play the Saints need to probably make a play for this drag now. They'll take that first objective. Herald has been sitting topside very lonely for a couple minutes now as well, so expect one of the teams to make their way over there. But as we said, first mountain drag will go to the Saints.
I think both of us blinked at that one.
I
All of a sudden, you know,
see it.
Azir was dead at that point, but it does open up the opportunity to go for this Dragon here. Alonso should have enough damage to clean this one up himself. Gonna mean a little bit more of the objective control going the way of St. Clair. As you mentioned, though, that Rift Herald on the top side was lonely until Mistopheles decided to go up there. Just be able to take that down. There's no contest at this point. You know, it's really difficult for anyone to sort of check that out, and especially with Bakery Boy reset and Ricky currently engaged in combat, it doesn't seem as if that's going to be the play for either one of these solo lanes to sort of check this one out. So a little bit more of an advantage going back the way of Maryland. They've always been able to try and eke out these sort of even objective trades. It's just, can they continue to translate more than even trade? Can they get winning trades for themselves at that?
Yeah, that's the thing. They've been, at least if the worst, it's been an even trade. The Saints have been finding these very, very slight edges, able to find a couple of those kills and doing a good job, as you said. If they know the Herald is going to be played for, we're going to go play for the Dragon, especially a Mountain Dragon. So it's a solid one to have as well. So we're going to see Maryland trying to set up in this top side, though, trying to clear some vision out. The Saints pretty heavy on this bot side now. They're going to try to get the dive on Rockboom, maybe. Just going to get a couple tags there with the auto. Collect those souls, Rockboom. So just trying to farm away here, not wanting to give an inch a race. He's going to walk up, going to get chained, though, but nothing going to be able to follow up. Maryland, though.
Look at this.
Going to be a 4v2 dive for the Saints. They don't have a very big wave, but Alonso going to go in nonetheless. Going to land the R. Going to land the stun. Lots of damage going through Alonso. Still tanking these tower shots. Bakery Boy was the one to find the kill there, so putting some more gold back in Bakery Boy's pocket, getting that Akali fed, and we've seen Bakery Boy and this Akali, I think, just fly all over the rift, so definitely a good place for the kill to go.
Yeah, looking at the clock there, 5 seconds left on Chea's cleanse or something like that. It was so close to being up and available, but unfortunately, just seems as if Saints had the timing down on that one. They knew exactly when that summoner was burned, and they knew exactly how they could take advantage of that.
Without a wave too, which is like you're not expecting it, but that's a really not necessarily a normal time to dive like that.
Yeah, it was perfect timing, effectively, from the side of Saints, and now 5 kills up at this point. 2,000 gold lead once again showing up in this sort of early stage of the game. There's still plates that can potentially come down. Yeah, that gold lead now starting to really mount up in favor, not only on the bot lane, but also top lane.
Bakery Boy is just an absolute pleasure to watch. Is going to dodge the shuffle as well, so going to burn the Azir R and get a decently even trade, all things considered. And man, Akali is just so hard to track down in Bakery Boy. He just pilots so many champs so well. Mechanically gifted the LeBlanc, the Akali. He is so good at getting in, getting all the damage output he can out, and just getting out at the right time. Maryland is going to stack up, going to drop this Rift Herald top tower, though, try to get some gold back. Bakery Boy maybe going to threaten the all-in the mid, but not going to pursue it. Ricky trying to hold on to this 3v1 dive with this Herald on this top tower right now. Rift is going to crash this tower on very low health as well. Ricky got to be a little bit careful, but Maryland, again, they don't want to get greedy. You can tell they're playing a little more conservative, realizing someone from the Saints might be coming to help, and his name is probably Alonso. Ricky, though, going to go all in, going to get the knock-up, land the R, lots of damage, Flash going to go out. Ricky's going to flash back to safety. Alonso going to go in. Sunbase going to find the kill with the R. Both of the Saints trying to rack up here, but it's going to be 2v1. Alonso getting tagged down low. Bakery Boy going to have to be the one to finish this fight out.
Erase?
Going to get some damage.
What?
Erase coming in out of nowhere with the Soraka. Bakery Boy trying to go back all in now. Alonso and Bakery Boy still very low HP, though. Going to have a very, very hard time engaging safely. The Soraka does have a lot of HP to give away still, but the Saints somehow only going to lose one in that fight when it looked a lot worse.
Erase flashed over the wall as Soraka and dropped a silence on the three members, and that might have actually been the way that Alonso and Bakery Boy stay alive. Oh my, it's not over.
This fight's not over though. Alonso gonna go all in on Sunday, gonna find the kill. They're gonna tag down a lot. Oh, double kill for the Sejuani. Rockboom putting in work in the spot side as well. Gonna land the root, and he's gonna find a kill. The Saints go marching top and bot side, finding kills left, right, and center, just like in game one. And what looked like a great play out of Maryland, dropping that rift, taking a lot of those plates, almost diving Ricky, turns into a nightmare scenario where they end up losing 3 all in all.
My goodness, the re-engage coming through.
Wow.
Alonso leading the charge
Fearless.
and finding enough damage there. No, this is just so difficult for the side of Maryland. They played that so well. They played it so perfectly. Burned so many summoners and ultimates, and yet it isn't enough as the re-engage comes through. Erase confidently just providing all the help that they need. I trust in my team to push that forward, and after picking up that kill onto Ricky, no love lost, it seems. They find 3 more kills, and this Caitlyn, we talked about how strong this champion can be when it's ahead. It is really difficult to pilot that champion from behind. You're really reliant on them sort of missing a play. Taking a look at this replay here, especially, Alonso just so confident going in. So much damage to come through onto Cheha there. A nice flash at that, but even then it wasn't quite enough. And then the opposite side of it, Rockboom, holding that chain of corruption for so long. The more patient man will always end up finding that kill in that 1v1 there. And Cloudy just really struggling to get their footing here and become that side lane menace.
And somehow, someway, the Saints always seem to put the kills in the right hands. They seem to put the bounties and the gold always in the right hands, always through Bakery Boy playing those carry mid laners, usually through Ricky, always through Rockboom. He always seems to be able to get that last hit, whether they set him up or whether he goes out there and takes it. Like you said, their re-engage is one of the most impressive parts about their game. It's when you think these fights are over, Maryland looked like they had the advantage, Soraka comes back, the Saints flick that switch, they turn heads, and so far doing a great job shutting down Maryland. Gonna dodge the chains out there. Little skirmish in this bot side river to try to pick up this next dragon.
And if we can get a check on the Senna stacks at this point, I'm curious to see how well Sunbay has been able to sort of pilot that for themselves. See how many they are at. 54 stacks here at 15 minutes. Very good stacking coming through. This champion's going to be really difficult to deal with in the later stages of the game. Right around that point where they get that third break point. So they're going to have about 30% crit coming through, leave 75 extra range. Bakery Boy doesn't want to let me talk about anyone else.
Yeah, he's going to go all in though on the Fiora. Try to get some damage up here on Cloudy. Bakery Boy winning into this trade. Cloudy though, going to get some heal. Is going to actually flash away. So just the fear of the Akali being nearby, not even going to mess around with it. Bakery Boy probably would have ended up winning that trade. It's pretty hard to parry a Akali that you can't see, although they're going to try to set the dive here. Sunbay going to be the first man there. Fiora going to collapse back here. Cloudy. Kane's going to miss. Bakery Boy in a very bad way. TP's going to go through. Might be able to find the kill. Going to hit the flash Q. Sit in the shroud. And now the Saints are here to help. Alonso and Ricky both going to show up. They're going to find the stun. Senna Art goes through. Doesn't catch anything. Fiora very low. Cloudy getting tagged down. Going to be over the kill. Bakery Boy's going to find that one. So the Saints, once again, perfectly timed. They will not let their boy die. Erase giving chase to Sunbay here. Trying to maybe get this execute, but the Saints are going to be akin to it. Erase. Try to lend the silence there. Down to the tower. Erase going to find his first kill of the game there. So now all the Saints going to be on the board. And like we said, they do such a beautiful job. It looks like Bakery Boy is completely screwed, and 4 Saints come out of left field to save him, turn the fight, and now they're going to get pressure on these waves again. They could possibly set up for the second Rift Herald as well. Just a beautiful job.
And it's incredible because Sunbay walks up there so confident that I'm going to march right up here and I'm going to look for the kill. And then Bakery Boy says, I'm taking 90% of your health bar. Just immediately, the exhaust came through late. I don't think the burst was expected. And Bakery Boy just kiting around that fight so well. 3-0-1 on this Akali. We haven't seen this champion too often from Bakery Boy. It's often been defaulting over to the LeBlanc and everything. But the times that we have seen this Akali, it has been incredibly strong. And now sort of just showing why they need to be feared here. We mentioned it off the top, Bakery Boy's been such a standout player for the Saints, and yet continuing to show that
pause this right here. You would think in every scenario Bakery Boy ends up dying, even before the TP comes in. Flash, as you said, Sunbay down to 1 HP, and then once Ricky and Alonso were there, it is pretty much all but done. Erase showing up on that backside. Senna are not really getting that much value, just kind of tickling at the Saints there. Not going to get hardly any healing. They're going to shut it down, and Bakery Boy, I think he's just really good at champs that you can never actually see while you're fighting. LeBlanc, Nico, and Akali seem to be very strong picks for him. If you can't see it, he pilots it very, very well, does a great job engaging, disengaging. Rockboom chains are going to land. This bot lane, though, still fearing the Saints, just once again, always getting ahead in these gold and these items. And as you said, this Caitlyn has a hard time playing from behind. The Saints are going to look to dive here. Alonso going to go in. Huge R going to land too. Going to find the knock-up as well, but not going to be able to quite get the follow-up they were looking for. TP backside, though. Bakery Boy, he's here, trying to go all in. Beautiful parry, though, to keep him from re-engaging, but Bakery Boy does not care. He's going to go back, and silence comes through. Saints are still trying to press the action here. Maryland trying to turn this fight. Shuffle goes through. Lots of damage going in on Alonso. The Soraka are going to hit as well, so Maryland still stuck to their devices here. They cannot push out this mid wave. The Saints answer that fight right back with a backhand.
This shows how strong of a school team Maryland is as well, and how strong the Saints are feeling as well. That shuffle looked so devastating there, but instant flashes coming through from Rockboom in a race. Ricky gonna have to flash out as well. But on the flip side, an insane parry once again coming through from Cloudy. Wow. Second time in a row that that's happened as well. My goodness, we're in for a treat here. Maryland refusing to relent despite them being down 9 kills and about 3,500 gold. They continue to try and find the fights on their own terms. And this game is set to be a lot closer at this point. And realistically, it is, because at this point of the game, last time around,
it's only 4K gold for the 9 kills too.
Yeah, it was 4K gold. Last game it was about 6K at this point, but they went for that Baron. They went for the Juggler with that, with out of no vision out of that. But now you just look at it. Even Cheha this time around a little bit closer in that department, a little bit more relevant in this game, and a lot of that's just based off of the CS that they've been able to accumulate. Granted, Rockboom also very strong in that regard, 10 CS a minute. Now you look at even Cloudy on the side lane. They have a little bit more agency for themselves this time around. It's not the Ornn where they're just going to sit there and lose the side lane. Fiora can still make it work, even when she's down 0-3.
Yeah, and Ornn is a lot more reliant on the team kind of being bolstered around him to get in those fights and actually, intelligently engage. And when Maryland has kind of gotten behind like they have, it's really hard to kind of force the action, especially Fiora. You're going to try to draw that attention to the side lanes. Maybe try to get that split push going. Just keep that CS number as high as possible. Keep getting those items under your belt to try to contest. Because, look at the CS. Him and Ricky, very, very even despite him having 3 deaths, being taken off the map for a substantial amount of time. Such a good job still to keep, try to keep as much pace as he can in that lane. The Saints, though, they're going to show mid here. Maybe try to make a play. Chains are going to land on Alonso. Rockboom going to tag down Chia. Very low. Flash going to go in. Oh, Silence going to go through as well. The Saints trying to make this play. Derive in a very bad spot. He's going to try to dash out. Shuffle going to shuffle 2 Saints away. Bakery Boy going to be the attention turned towards him. Lots of damage. Centaur comes through. Soraka are going to provide even more healing, though. Alonso going to try to go all the way in here. The Saints trying to slowly chip away at Maryland, but Alonso low on HP. Rockboom low. TP is going to come in a little bit late there. Bakery Boy trying to debate whether to go all in. Ricky TPing into safety, but a 1-0 for Maryland. And as you said, they are such a strong team. Even though they're behind, they're able to win these fights out.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that value just comes from Chea staying alive for so long, but that chain of corruption looked so good from the side of Rockboom, landed it onto so many members. Just felt as if they overheated a little bit there. They felt they had a little bit more damage. They had a little bit more healing to come through from the Soraka, but the Senna now has that Executioner's Calling, and while Grievous Wounds isn't a very strong stat right now, it's still quite good at leading to misjudgments, I think. And that's the main thing. You have 75% of your healing still, but you're expecting 100%. You're expecting that Moonstone to kick in and really save you. But that Executioner Calling just makes it a normal Soraka heal at that point, which, granted, still quite strong, does mean that you might misjudge. And I think that is exactly what happened with Rockboom there, going a little bit too hard there and overheating. Yeah,
Saints just going to chuck this Rift Herald mid, probably low on that timer. They took it, quite a while ago at this point, but chuck that thing mid, try to buy them time to recall, maybe try to get set up for Baron here. They did take the Infernal Drake on the bot side there, so they are on soul point, but we'll go to a very quick replay of the action that we just saw. Once again, Maryland holding serve in this mid lane extremely well considering the circumstances. We see Bakery Boy trying to mess around on that back line. We saw the stun go through from the Sejuani. The shuffle came through to try to back off those Saints. Very, very nip and tuck fight. It was very close. You can see the HP for both members very, very low. Chiha landing that R at the back line. Yeah, lots of damage went through. Rockboom got stunned up, but crazy strong back and forth. We saw 2 dead even fights back to back in that mid lane.
Yeah, it was the trap that I think Rockboom missed out on, so it gave the Caitlyn an opportunity for an extra headshot, and as soon as Varus walked up into range of the exhaust from Senna, that was when they had gone a little bit too far. But nonetheless, it's good to see Rockboom still willing to play aggressively in this matchup. And of note, look at the Dragons, 3 stacked up for the side of St. Clair. They're looking down the barrel of an Infernal Soul at that, and this is going to be really major for them. Another thing to note, Alonso opting for the Demonic Embrace, so a little bit more of an aggressive Sejuani build. We've seen chains come through, we've seen just straight defensive, Warmogs is an answer as well. Instead, Alonso wants to take the game by the horns and basically just say, I'm going to be relevant. Oh my goodness.
Huge shuffle going to get 2. Rockboom going to get chained up there. Looks like a race might fall as well. Maryland actually going to be a 2-for-1 here. Caitlyn going to find the double kill there, so Maryland picking their spots extremely well, catching the Saints out. dealing a boatload of damage, and this might end up being a Baron over to them as well. The Saints are going to try to delay this as long as possible, but they're going to have definitely the advantage. Ricky screening on the backside of this pit, trying to see if there's an angle to get in here, maybe try to get this steal. Lonzo and Ricky circling like a bunch of hyenas right now, trying to see if there's a moment. Bakery Boy's here, though. This might end up changing the fight. They're going to go in. Bakery Boy going to go in. Ricky going to find the kill, taking out the Caitlyn, which is huge. Ricky still dashing around. Bakery Boy flash kill, cutting through the defenses of Maryland. He's going to find two. Swords and blades galore. They are going to slash up Maryland, and they're going to take down this Baron as well. Once again, turning the fight. They are going to find the ace as well. Beautiful job, Bakery Boy and Ricky. Perfectly timed entrance there.
Yeah, and it was the knockup coming through from the Sejuani Q of all things that set up the Yasuo to just get into the middle of everyone, but saving that R2 for so long as Bakery Boy was able to effectively kill the Senna with that R1. You know, the Caitlyn was already out of the fight, but the perfect execution, holding, firing onto Cloudy at the end of that one. And Mephisto, not quite as tanky as you'd like to see, and that's exactly what happens with this Akali. Just want to take a look. Look at this. Alonso not taking a whole lot of damage. It's this knockup onto Sunbay to open it, or onto Chea to open it up there. And look at this. Sunbay taking so much damage from Akali on this side. Able to pick up 2 in that fight, and Mephisto not able to win in that 1v3 situation. It's a Trundle, it's a utility champion. You're not going to be able to 1v1 anyone, especially with the build they've opted for. Derive now in a lot of trouble. Oh my goodness!
Oh, Ricky going all in on his head. They're going to find the silence. Ricky cutting down the Azir. They're going to find that kill in the bot lane, and the Saints going to look to try to get this mid-angle push. Alonso going to go for the stun there. Trundle going to try to land the pillar. Rock Boom is here, though. Alonso is going to be the one to find the kill. That demonic damage is going to come through there. The Saints still chipping away. Rock Boom almost going to land a fat stack of damage to Bakery Boy, and Alonso hit up in this bush on this pink ward. Ricky just chopping away at this bottom tower. Should be able to tank these shots and knock this one down. He will do just that. Now they're going to make a push for this mid wave as well. Bakery Boy and Alonso trying to set up this flank on the back line. Alonso's going to get there. Bakery Boy, he's going to get there. Rock Boom's going to find the kill. TP coming in from Maryland to try to swing this fight, try to stop this. Cloudy going to get in, try to get a couple dashes there. Bakery Boy on the back line. Soraka R is going to go in. Oh, and Fiora gets shredded. Rock Boom going to find the kill as well. Trundle will fall. The Saints are going to try to walk this one down mid. They should be able to take an inhibitor, and they're going to start to look for their win angle very, very, very shortly.
My goodness, they've just been able to continue to snowball and snowball and snowball, really avoiding this Caitlyn's power point. You know, she still doesn't have that infinity yet. She's not at the strongest point of her game. I don't know if she's even going to get there at this point. 8 seconds left on the Caitlyn, but they might just be able to end the game right here.
Yeah, with the Demolish proc coming through, it looks like they won't be able to get it. Oh, they're going to find that kill to stagger these spawns. Rockboom in a race, though. Pretty much sitting at 1 HP. Sunbay going to find the first one. Rockboom going to dodge the chains. Headshot. Going to drop him off. So Maryland is going to find 2 in response. Derive maybe still trying to make some kind of play here. Does have to be careful, though. Ricky still full HP. Ricky and Bakery Boy having that Baron buff for just a little longer. Both of these Nexus towers sitting at or below 25% HP. Look how fed this Akali is, by the way. Full Darksteel, Rabadon's Rocket Belt, going more needlessly large rods as well. The Saints, they're going for that 100-0 mentality right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, just with these respawns and who is up and alive, this Dragon is going to be a little bit more challenging. You can see the teleport now coming in from Derive to try and get this Dragon, prevent the Soul from going down. Cloudy's here as well. Might just be a give, so at least the Soul is stalled out. A little bit greedy coming through from the Saints, but yet again, it's these 5 members of Maryland standing here, and the 3 members who won the 3v5 earlier. Doesn't seem like they're
not this time. No, they're gonna keep their buffs just in case they have a little more time to get those waves pushed in just for a couple more seconds. So smart idea to give that one over, realizing. And honestly, I don't mind the Saints getting that aggressive in the base. They still found a couple kills. They might have gotten a few shutdowns on Maryland's side, but having this big of an advantage, having the Akali with that many items, and having everybody getting online. Look at the Sejuani, 3-0-11, just building away, getting that HP, already having the demonic. So the Saints, they're feeling really good about where they are, especially engaging these team fights. And as I said, if I know them, they're going to look to try to set up this win angle, maybe off the next objective or when they decide it might be time to go in.
Cloudy's caught out here, actually.
Oh, Baker Boy is going to be akin to it. Going to find the tag there. Cloudy going to walk away, just trigger that bone plating, I believe, get that little damage reduction, but they're going to just take away this blue buff, start farming out these jungle camps, and, you know, starve Maryland as much as they can when they get to this next fight coming up.
Yeah, and looking at the build from Rocco here. See the Blade of the Ruined King picked up. An interesting option considering the lack of that front line, but I think just really wants to make sure they've got enough healing in the back pocket to be able to survive everything.
Yeah.
Another build that was an option. I kind of like this build as well. It's the lawnmower build. It works really well on Varus. So, of course, with the shield, though, it's already sort of gone by the wayside and everything. But, you know, you can just swap it out for Riftmaker if you want. Let's see. But nonetheless, they're just trying to push down this last inhibitor at this point. And this game is going to be really difficult. You're going to have to see an incredible play coming through from Derive to shuffle back, 3-4 members into the middle of that team. And a lot of damage to come out from Cheon Sunbei to be able to hold the line here, but nonetheless, going to be difficult. There's no Baron in tow, and of course, that 650 range, those headshots going to be so much more value, especially holding this line, especially with that Infinity Edge in tow as well. Chea going to be the strongest they're going to get this game. They need to find a big play. Yeah,
the Saints are pretty much trying to macro their way into this Nexus. As we said, Maryland, they're probably going to have to make some kind of crazy play. They're going to have to find a couple picks. The Saints slowly just trying to chip away at Maryland so they can slowly try to walk into these towers. They still have that middle inhibitor down as well. Bakery Boy going to be the defender of the mid lane there. Just try to get this wave pushed in as far as possible. Draw that attention over and try to, waste out Maryland's time here as the Saints try to get this top wave pushed in. Bakery Boy, you can see how much attention he's drawing. 3 members hovering, trying to make sure he doesn't go all in, slice and dice, and get out there. And the Saints still just pushing away at this top wave. So the dam is going to break soon. One of these teams is going to make a decision. The Saints, maybe going to go in first. Ricky, tag down to half HP, going to get out. Luckily, the Saints, though, still looking for this angle to get in, but they just haven't quite found that right one yet.
And the main thing is that they're stalling. Stalling and stalling for the Baron to spawn in about 45 seconds there. The Azir turret only going to be able to hold so many waves. That bot lane is just continuously pushing in over and over again. That's the important inhibitor that they got off of that Baron play, is that bot lane inhibitor, because it's not spawning until after Baron should be off the map in favor of Saints or in favor of either one of these teams at this point, bar Steel. It's just really down to if they can continue to hold the line here. Cloudy has that teleport available. Derives is going to be up in about 30 seconds or so here as well, so going to have to keep that in mind for the fight, because as you can see, that gold lead that they had, 11, 12,000 in favor of St. Clair is now shrunk down a little bit. Yes, it is still substantial enough to keep note of, but 8,500 gold, with a lot of that being on a Caitlyn, on an Azir, there is still a world where you can potentially win a fight. St. Clair's need to be careful. They need to proceed with caution here.
Yeah, one huge Azir arc can definitely swing a fight. Ricky, got to be very careful here. Luckily, got some dashes to play with. Gonna try to go for the all-in. Derive, gotta try to chase him down. Ricky chasing 5 members of Maryland, trying to chase Ricky down, try to find some stun on him. They're gonna find some damage there. They are still giving chase though, and as we said, Ricky distracting all 5 members. Even if he ends up dying here, the Saints, they're gonna try to walk this one into the base. The TP to back is gonna come through there. Try to stop that one. Ricky is gonna flash into the alcove, hit the blast plant, still trying to fake his getaway here. He's gonna turn on Sunbei, try to find the kill. He is gonna get the flash burns. Ricky still fighting for his life. TP's gonna come in just a little bit late, but the Saints, the Saints get the Baron. They're trying to get the recalls now. Bakery Boy trying to stall these recalls, trying to chase down Sunbei here. Might be able to do so. Getting closer and closer, ripping through him. No questions asked, and the Saints did get the Baron off of it. Alonso gonna land the stun, gonna get the flash out of Derive. The Saints maybe gonna look for their win angle here. Derive gonna go back in, gonna shuffle, not that much, not gonna get a lot of value. The Caitlyn gonna find a kill there. Rock gonna get turned on though. Lots of damage. That Caitlyn packing an absolute wall up. Now Erase gonna be caught out all alone here in this top side. He's gonna fall as well. So 3 of the Saints with their Baron minions are gonna fall. Only Bakery Boy keeping that buff up. Ricky dying as well. So they are gonna take that bot inhibitor once more, but that Baron play gonna go to the wayside essentially.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a tough situation. The teleport, it seems like a little bit of miscommunication, because Bakery Boy teleporting down there maybe thought that there were different members available, but Cloudy teleporting back to the base, get out of that play as soon as possible. I think the only winning play there is if the Akali is able to land a shuriken flip onto the Fiora, follow that TP all the way back, but even then, it's a big cooldown that was expended, and now you look at that Dragon Timer, once again, very difficult for Saints to try and contest this one. It's up in 12 seconds. Alonso is just spawning onto the map. It's going to be a late rotation coming through from Rockboom and Erase. That mid lane tower is set to die as well. A lot of the standing goal on the map now going back in the way of the Terrapins here. Ricky, oh my goodness.
Ricky playing with fire, trying to keep this mid tower alive. It will fall. Ricky going to fall as well, so trying to make a hero play to save that mid tower, but not going to be worth it. And this will pretty much all but guarantee the Dragon for Maryland. Maybe the Saints try to take a 4v5 here, but they have to be very careful to do so. This Caitlyn is starting to hit very, very, very hard. I'm sure they have to be aware of it. Maybe Rockman going to try to play for the steal here. Maybe they try to find this pick. Alonso going to go in, gonna land the stun. Dragon goes over to Maryland, though. Alonso going to be too far and going to have to flash out of there. Lots of damage going through from Maryland. Tick those Saints down as they escape here, but Maryland more than happy to take that Dragon. Push themselves one closer to Soul Point, being at 2 now, and try to back off here. Saints, though. Bakery Boy, he never wants to give up on this fight. At least going to try to get Maryland shoved back so they can maybe fix the waves up a little bit.
Yeah, give him an inch and it takes him a mile. Cheo, though!
Oh, Bakery Boy going to go back in. Flash going to come through, and the stopwatch going to be used. He is going to go in. He is going to find the kill onto the Caitlyn. Bakery Boy, if he can somehow get out of here, Blast Cone to safety, actually is going to escape. The Saints do a great job. They're going to get a turret taken out as well. One of those Nexus turrets was going to fall to the minions there. Maryland distracted by the fight, distracted by Bakery Boy's flashiness. The Saints are going to take this mid inhibitor. Rockboom, they might look for the win angle here. Ricky going to be back in this fight. All 5 Saints going to be stacked up. Bakery Boy does have that Baron buff as well. so they can maybe walk some of these minions and try to find the angle. The Azir Tower is going to be there, though, and this is right here. The game now on a knife's edge. Saints can look for the entry here. Bakery Boy going to try to go in. Sunbay going to land the chains. Towers are slowly falling. Bakery Boy one-shotting Sunbay. That was the angle the Saints were looking for. Bakery Boy trying to finish things up on this backline, though. The Saints, they're going to put it all in. Rock Boom, massive arrow going to land. Shuffle goes through on Ricky, going to knock him up. Ricky's going to fall to Cloudy. Saints looking for kills. Lots of healing going through. Double kill for the Fiora. Still wreaking havoc. The Saints slowly chipping away at this Nexus turret. Only the Nexus remains. The Nexus is wide open. Bakery Boy trying to get back in. 20-yard lands. Massive stun. Trade is going to go through the Saints. Not able to end just quite yet. They're going to find the knockup, though. Rock Boom hits a stopwatch. Alonso is going to fall there. He's going to find the kill. Caitlyn going to find a double kill. Maryland sits with an open Nexus, and the Saints sit with a little bit of heartbreak there. They weren't able to find the angle.
Oh my goodness, and Cloudy comes up huge. We started off this game with Cloudy being 0-5, and yet they're able to hold it down. They bought enough time for Chea to respawn to pick up those last couple of kills, and going golden in front of a Caitlyn is always a death sentence. Those traps are going to come down, and it is so difficult to fight him. Know that this Maryland team does not want to go down without a fight. We want a game 3, honestly, at this point, but Maryland, they want it as much as any of us, and my goodness, they are going to fight tooth and nail for it.
They didn't leave us the drama of the inhibitor respawning with the Nexus at about 1 HP. That would have been that would have been the only kicker.
Here, yeah.
we can't do that twice in 2 weeks, though, but that would have been the absolute kicker. And you can see the Saints, they really want to try to force this, and they can smell the end of the game. They are really trying to force it. Ricky TPing in late, trying to put as much pressure as possible. And the one good thing is at least they did open the Nexus, take out a couple of those inhibitors, so try to make their lives a little bit easier, and then maybe once again stall for this Baron, try to play for Soul Point here, and then maybe try to finally go for that all-in. I think they should probably try to go for Solar Baron, go for the all-in, but we're going to get a quick look back at this play. This play seemed like hours and days long. Bakery Boy starting things off on the back line, doing like he usually does, completely shredding away at the side of Maryland, but Maryland not giving up on the fight, and it looked pretty dire there. Rockboom gets so much damage. Perfect shuffle onto Ricky, though, and Cloudy going to slice and dice all over, landing parries left and right, finding the double kill, keeping Maryland alive in this game, and the Saints doing such a good job there. But say we're getting close to the thing to coming down here to the nitty-gritty.
Yeah, you know, 5 members strong, just pushing down this mid lane. No Baron buff to speak of. It's spawning in a minute. You know, the soul has been snuffed out from St. Clair for 10 minutes, 15 minutes at that point. They haven't been able to get that win condition for themselves either. The resilience of the Terrapins has been insane, just holding the line as much as possible. They literally took our advice and they turtled up this game. They are simply holding the line as much as possible. And now, full build on Chea. Almost a full build here on the Akali as well. There is so much gold still in the pocket of this Caitlyn to be able to hold the line. You've got to find that pick. You need to find a miracle play coming through from Bakery Boy. And Derive at this point is starting to chunk through those health bars as well. Yeah, Saints are slowly looking to put the squeeze on Maryland here, trying to find that angle. They need to win the game. We see Bakery Boy playing down on that bot side, going into the 1v1. Going to draw the attention of Maryland, though. This Baron up in 20, Soul in a minute 5. The Saints, it looks like it'll maybe be a Bakery Boy distraction this time to try to open things up for the Baron. And honestly, good idea. Able to get in, get out. The Saints, they're going to walk back to this Baron. They should be able to tag it down pretty quickly as well. Bakery Boy, once again, going to draw the attention of a couple members of Maryland. Going to buy the Saints at least 5 or 10 seconds to burn this thing down once it spawns in here momentarily. Bakery Boy, we saw a pretty similar situation last time. Caitlyn are going to land. Shuffle goes through. Going to be a heavy investment to try to take out Bakery Boy. Trying to find his way out of here. Going to land the dash onto Sunday. He's going to get away. Lots of damage. Still surviving. He is going to fall. The Saints do get the Baron this time, however. So now they will have to just slowly try to macro away their play to this one. But they are going to ping that dragon as well. They're going to try to go for Soul Point as well and really put the squeeze on Maryland. Yeah, and a little bit more timing this time around. You know, there's 4 members strong. They say we're going to play for the soul. We're not going to try and risk anything. But once again, look at this play coming through from Maryland. They're going to try and push down this mid lane as much as possible. I think they're going to try and go for towers here. Maybe just give over the soul because they know they need to pick up all this gold. Teleport coming in, though. Here's the fight around this dragon. This could be our last fight of the game for either one of these teams. Yeah, Erase getting caught in a bad spot. Going to get flashed on there. Erase still trying to heal away. He is going to fall to Cloudy, though. That's going to be a huge kill for Maryland. Now Rotham getting caught. Going to flash to Alonso. Trying to come in and help. Lots of members, though. Rotham going to get Ard. Going to get rooted as well. The Saints trying to skirmish backside here. Sunbay going to find the kill into Rockboom. Ricky, though, backside of the Nexus. All alone in the Nexus. TPs are going to come in. Not sure if it'll be in time, though. The Soul Point being contested. But Ricky at the Nexus is going to solo it. Going to walk it in the back door of Maryland. And that is a heartbreaker. The Saints pulling out all the stops. And Ricky, man of the hour on the Yasuo, finding the angle there. The Saints played off of it so well. And that's what a way to end that game off. Honestly, the Saints, they're lucky to get away with that victory after that. Just such a massive comeback coming through from the side of Maryland and really showing why, hey, they hadn't dropped any games before today, and yet it took a Herculean effort from the Saints to be able to push that one through, even at the end. And as it all ends, the back door, not even just right down the front door,
literally right down
mid
mid lane, yeah, kick down the front door. Doesn't matter. What a series though, battle of undefeated teams. That game too was on a knife's edge for what felt like 20 minutes long. The Saints kept getting denied soul. They got the Baron play shut down. Maryland looked like they were maybe gonna finally get that item spike. The Fiora was starting to take over, but too little, too late. Ricky just too sneaky for him.
Honestly, just a really strong series from both of these teams. I think that game one, not really indicative to show what Maryland's strengths are as a team. And that game two, you saw how important Chea was when it came down to it and how strong this player is. There's a reason why they've been challenger, 5, 6, 7 seasons in a row here, because they can consistently find the damage and output it that way. And I think overall, it was a crazy play as well coming through from the side of Bakery Boy, just able to find these kills time and time again.
5v1 distraction twice over, worked out both times, fortunately.
Yeah, and just wow, what a game coming out from both of these teams. It's really, really difficult to put it into words at this point. Saints finished NACE StarLeague without dropping a single game at that. I think only replicated by the aforementioned Harrisburg as well as Maryville. And overall, they look so strong going into playoffs there. It's going to be a heck of a riot at that because, Maryland as a 2 seed coming out of that group, they're devastating, especially if you face off against someone like Florida Southern or even Harrisburg that could potentially drop games there. But overall, just a really strong series from both of these teams. And this team gets
I'm out of breath.
I'm exhausted.
We were sweating when those fights felt like they were going on forever. Happy I was able to hold my breath through all those calls. But I think with that being said, we hyped up this one all week. It lived up to the build. Now we're going to send over some hype for some of the other matches that will be coming up later on in this week as well. We have a very, very good mix on our hands. We're having, I think, a different title pretty much every day. And here it is. Monday, Valorant picked up a win in a nail-biter series against Carleton. League of Legends, we had a great series against Maryland. This will be one to watch for time to come. Academy League going to be on stream tomorrow against Southern New Hampshire. So a little flavor in their little red spice as well. Halo Infinite making its premiere onto the broadcast. That'll be the Academy team at 8. Finally in that college Halo, and then Rocket League Academy Friday taking on University of Ottawa, and then Saturday as well the Saints varsity team, and I believe the Academy will be streaming the varsity team though, playing in the CCA East Open number 2, trying to replicate what they got last time, getting that second place, getting those points, making that push to CRL, but that's what it looks like the rest of the week coming up.
Yeah, and I've heard that there might also be COD Modern Warfare 2 mixed in there as well. So a little bit of spice coming through overall. I think we've had just such great performances come through from all of these players overall. And, all of these teams have been starting to pop off. But now as we get into playoff season, you can see they've got that grit about them. And they're willing to sort of lay down the hammer. But that effectively wraps it up for us tonight, Joe. And just want to give a huge shout out. Oh, yeah, already. We were expecting a game 3 at that. But a huge shout out to Danners, of course, for helping us out with production tonight. But overall, really, really strong series from the Saints. Take it away, Jobin.
Yeah, that's going to be all for tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in. Fantastic series. We have a packed rest of the week. So enjoy your night, and we'll catch you guys all tomorrow.
To work with, so we can continue dashing in and out, finding the opportunities that we could here to play, though.
Yeah, they are going to collapse. Cloudy is going to flash out right away. Alonso going to land the stun, going to try to land that parry. They are going to find the stun. Root's going to come through. Might be able to find the kill here. Ricky should be able to finish this one off. He'll take the kill.
Did just flash, I believe, Mephisto went for a little bit of a flash pillar. Oh my goodness.
Wow, and Rock Boom's going to flash, get the kill. Sunbay going to fall. Oh, Chia trying to run away. Flash going to go through Rock Boom, though, not giving up. Chase him in a race. Going to try to run and finish this one off. Rock Boom getting a couple autos. Waiting to charge this arrow. Pierces Caitlyn. Going to find the kill there. Rock Boom mini race. Saints, they don't have a very big wave, but Alonso going to go in nonetheless. Going to land the R. Going to land the stun. Lots of damage going through Alonso. Still tanking these tower shots. Bakery Boy was the one to find the kill there, so putting some more gold back in Bakery Boy's pocket. Getting in the R, lots of damage. Flash going to go out. Ricky's going to flash back to safety. Alonso going to go in. Sunbay's going to find the kill with the R. Both of the Saints trying to rack up here, but it's going to be 2v1. Alonso getting tagged down low. Bakery Boy going to have to be the one to finish this fight out.
Erase?
Going to get some damage.
What?
Erase coming in out of nowhere with the Soraka. Bakery Boy trying to go back all in now. Alonso and Bakery Boy still very low HP though. Going to have a very, very hard time engaging safely. The Soraka does have a lot of HP to give away still.
And that might have actually been the way that Alonso and Bakery Boy stay alive. Oh my, it's not over.
This fight's not over though. Alonso going to go all in on Sunday. Going to find the kill. They're going to tag down a lot. Oh, double kill for the Sejuani. Rock Boom putting in work in the spot side as well. Get it in the root. And he's going to find that you can't see, although when he tries to set the dive here, Sunbay going to be the first man there. You're going to collapse back here. Cloudy Game's gonna miss. Baker Boy in a very bad way. TP's gonna go through. Might be able to find the kill. Gonna hit the flash Q. Sit in the shroud. And now the Saints are here to help. Alonzo and Ricky both gonna show up. They're gonna find the stun. Senna R goes through. Doesn't catch anything. Fiora very low. Cloudy getting tagged down. Gonna be over for TP backside though. Bakery Boy, he's here. Trying to go all in. Beautiful parry though to keep him from re-engaging. But Bakery Boy does not care. He's gonna go back and silence comes through. Saints are still trying to press the action here. Maryland trying to turn this fight. Shuffle goes through. Lots of damage going in on Alonzo. The Soraka are gonna hit as well. So Maryland still stuck to their devices here. They cannot push up. Gonna show mid here. Maybe try to make a play. Chains are gonna land on Alonzo. Rock Boom gonna tag down Kia. Very low. Flash gonna go in. Oh, Silence gonna go through as well. The Saints trying to make this play. Derive in a very bad spot. Is gonna try to dash out. Shuffle gonna shuffle two Saints away. Bakery Boy gonna be the attention turned towards him. Lots of damage. Senna R comes through. Soraka are gonna provide even more healing though. Alonzo gonna try to go all the way in here. The Saints trying to slowly chip away at Maryland, but Alonzo low on HP. Rock Boom low. TP is gonna come in a little bit late there. Bakery Boy trying to debate whether to go all in. Ricky TPing into Saints.
To take, take the game by the horns and basically just say, I'm gonna be bro. Oh my goodness.
Huge Shuffle gonna get two. Rock Boom gonna get chained up there. Looks like a race might fall as well. Maryland actually gonna be a 2-for-1 here. Caitlyn gonna find the double kill there. So Maryland maybe try to get this steal. Lonzo and Ricky circling like a bunch of hyenas right now, trying to see if there's a moment. Bakery Boy's here. This might end up changing the fight. They're gonna go in. Bakery Boy gonna go in. Ricky gonna find the kill. Taking out the Caitlyn, which is huge. Ricky still dashing around. Bakery Boy flash kill, cutting through the defenses of Maryland. He's gonna find two. Swords and blades galore. They are gonna slash up Maryland, and they're gonna.
Especially with the build they've opted for. Drive now in a lot of trouble. Oh my goodness!
Oh, Ricky going all in on his head. They're gonna find the Silence. Ricky cutting down the Azir. They're gonna find that kill in the ball lane, and the Saints gonna look to try to get this mid angle push. Alonzo gonna go for the stun there. Trundle gonna try to land the pillar. Rock Boom is here though. Alonzo is gonna be the one to find the kill. That demonic damage should be able to tank these shots and knock this one down. He will do just that. Now they're gonna make a push for this mid wave as well. Bakery Boy and Alonzo trying to set up this flank on the back line. Alonzo's gonna get there. Bakery Boy, he's gonna get there. Rock Boom's gonna find the kill. TP coming in for Maryland to try to swing this fight, try to stop this. Cloudy gonna get in, try to get a couple dashes there. Bakery Boy on the back line. Soraka R is gonna go in. Oh, and Fiora gets shredded. Rock Boom gonna find the kill as well. Trundle will fall. The Saints are gonna try to walk this one down mid. They should be able to take an inhibitor, and they're gonna start to look for their win angle very, very, very shortly.
This Caitlyn's power point, she still doesn't have that infinity yet. She's not at the strongest point of her game. I don't know if she's even going to get there at this point. 8 seconds left on the Caitlyn, but they might just be able to end the game right here.
Yeah, with the Demolish proc coming through, it looks like they won't be able to get it. Oh, they're going to find that kill to stagger these spawns. Rock Boom in a race, though. Pretty much sitting at 1 HP. Sunbay going to find the first one. Rock Boom going to dodge the chains. Headshot. Going to drop him off. So Maryland is questions asked, and the Saints did get the Baron off of it. Alonzo going to land a stun. Going to get the flash out of Derive. The Saints maybe going to look for their win angle here. Derive going to go back in. Going to shuffle. Not that much. Not going to get a lot of value. The Caitlyn gonna find a kill there. Rock gonna get turned on though. Lots of damage. That Caitlyn packing an absolute wallop. Now Erase gonna be caught out all alone here in this top side. He's gonna fall as well. So 3 of the Saints with their Baron minions are gonna fall. Only Bakery Boy. Bakery Boy gonna try to go in. Sunbay gonna land the chains. Towers are slowly falling. Bakery Boy one-shotting Sunbay. That was the angle the Saints were looking for. Bakery Boy trying to finish things up on this backline of the Saints. They're gonna put it all in. Rock Boom, massive Laro gonna land. Shuffle goes through on Ricky, gonna knock him up. Ricky's gonna fall to Cloudy. Saints looking for kills. Lots of healing going through. Double kill for the Fiora. Still wreaking havoc. The Saints slowly chipping away at this Nexus turret. Only the Nexus remains. The Nexus is wide open. Bakery Boy trying to get back in. Sejuani lands. Massive stun. It's wide open. Bakery Boy trying to get back in. Sejuani lands. Massive stun. Trade is gonna go through the Saints. Not able to end just quite yet. They're gonna find the knockup though. Rock Boom hits a stopwatch. Alonzo is gonna fall there. He's gonna find the kill. Caitlyn gonna find a double kill. Maryland sits with 9 seconds to burn this thing down once it spawns in here momentarily. Bakery Boy, we saw a pretty similar situation last time. Caitlyn are gonna land. Shuffle goes through. Gonna be a heavy investment to try to take out Bakery Boy. Trying to find his way out of here. Gonna land the dash on the Sunday. He's gonna get away. Lots of damage, still surviving. He is going to fall. The Saints do get the Baron this time, however, so now they will have to. I'm gonna Kato, gonna flash to Alonzo, trying to come in and help. Lots of members though. Rock Boom gonna get Ard, gonna get rooted as well. The Saints trying to skirmish backside here. Sunbay gonna find the kill into Rock Boom. Ricky though, backside of the Nexus, all alone on the Nexus. TPs are gonna come in. Not sure if it'll be in time though. The soul point being contested, but Ricky at the Nexus is gonna solo it, gonna walk it in the back door of Maryland, and that is a heartbreaker. The Saints pulling out all the stops, and Ricky, man of the
to work with, so he can continue.